Hey everybody, how you doing? Getting ready to start the show here in just a couple of minutes. We're having to fix some minor technical difficulties, so give us just a couple of minutes, and we will get started. Let me do this. And I will put on some music for you to wait. Just a moment.
Just some more whiskey. I can't seem to understand how you do this to me. You've been running in circles inside my head. Wasn't looking for love, but baby, I found you instead. Saw you in that red dress. I can't seem to understand how you got all that finesse. Still been running in circles inside my head. Wasn't looking for love, but baby, I found you instead.
Hello. Hello. There we go. Second try. All right. What's
We made it.
What's up, peeps?
We're here, everyone. I haven't seen you guys in a week.
Didn't we play Among Us last night?
Shut up, dude! Shut up, dude! Behind the scenes secrets, man.
I haven't played Among Us at all, so I'm just not so good at those games. I don't know. A hard time with them.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
/damn.
Okay, so
honestly, I'm getting a little burnt out on them.
On those types of games.
This is a bad time to get burnt out on those types of games.
on Among Us, specifically Among Us.
Oh, I just meant like
That's
the kind of like
push
the button.
Play like
that we can't talk about.
Ultimate Werewolf.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Oh yeah.
Secret Hitler.
Yeah.
I've never played that
Avalon.
one.
There's a lot of them.
Is Avalon like that?
There's way decent of them. But the problem with Among Us is like it's fun, and I enjoy playing it with people who haven't played it a lot. But for our group who plays like what
Every day.
4 to 5 hours a night every night for like the past 3 weeks, like every play as like an imposter has to be so big brain that it's not fun, or a very few people, select group of people at the table at the group command the table 9 times out of 10, and then like 8 times of those 9 times like they're just wrong. And it's like, it's not fun to just be like, I'm telling the truth every time and
Yeah.
still get spaced. Like, okay,
Ooh, the
you
hot
guys just
takes.
value his opinion more than me, and that's fine. But like, I mean, I'm not going to do that for 5 hours every day. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that makes a lot of sense for sure. I could see that getting pretty tired.
Yeah,
I'm not going to name names. Horde, third imposter.
I
I just have a hard
played
time. Oh, go ahead.
I played the other night with a friend of mine that y'all know, and his wife and their son. That was an interesting experience.
Did they actually use the mics, or were they just
Yeah.
typing?
Well, so we
And
were
you're
in we
were
were
you
in
in their
Discord. Yeah, we were in Discord, and then like we were typing to randos. So it was like a mix.
Oh, so there's hugs, but you're able to quick talk to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like the standard rule stands of like, obviously we're not going to cheat because like that ruins the game, right?
Right.
But their son, who's like 10 or 11, I think, I forget how old he is. I think he's like 10. He was like, he was going off on these people. He was like, no, this is so dumb. That's not how you play that. You can't make that claim in that room because like that task isn't in there, and like we don't have that on right now. I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah, like he's too meta in it, and we're slowly moving into that place though. Like we're very slowly moving, or very
he, like,
quickly moving.
very obviously had like his level of game mastery was up here, and mine was like everybody
It's
else
no
was like right
longer
here,
fun.
and then I
It's
was
like
like over here.
It's like
like
playing
someone trying to
chess
smell
against a
some blood on it.
grandmaster or something. Like
You're trying
like
to
you
move
do
the
like
rook
2 moves.
diagonally.
They're like, I already won. I don't even know why we're still playing.
I was just like, I don't. I like the funniest part was it was one of the rounds we did. It was down to a rando, him, and me, and I knew it wasn't me. It was one of the two of them. So I was just like, between like the text chat and like him saying stuff, I was in like voice. I was just not keeping up with it. I was like, I'm tired, man. I don't know. So I was just like, I don't know, panic vote. And so I spaced him. Because obviously they voted for each other. And I spaced him. Sure shit, I was right.
Woo!
Yeah, it was
Nice.
like, that's ridiculous. Why would you panic vote? That's so stupid. So he was like, alright, don't be a sore loser. Like, come on. It was like, no, but he's got a good point, though. It's like, he's got a good point, though. That was actually a really dumb move on my part. It was just a complete guess.
I mean, yeah, but hey, if it worked, it worked. And if not, like, I mean, that's the other thing about that game.
It's
like, people
funny.
get really mad in it and like real emotional between rounds, and like it compounds round to round to round to round.
Yeah.
And it's like, win or lose, does it really matter? Like, it's freaking Task Simulator 2020, and it's like, or you die, and that's the game, and that's. I don't understand why people enjoy playing that one so much more than, like, say, a Secret Hitler or One Night Werewolf or any of the other social deception games. Like, it's fun, but like, ugh.
The One Night Werewolf is too complicated for me. I'm sure it would be fine if I played it like 4 or 5 times, but
yeah,
like going over it the first time I played it, there's just so many different roles you can play, and I'm just like, I have no idea how to even like think around this right now, and I'm already really bad at them, and so
I don't know. These games just really highlight for me the like different types of mental processing, because like you'd think, like I can sit here and explain for like hours and hours and hours how to play Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and that can be a very complex game. Like fucking, I ran Shadowrun, man. Like that game is spaghetti. The rules of that game is spaghetti.
Yep.
It's
You get
all
exploding
over the
dice
damn
out of
place.
3 out of 6 different qualifications, and then only then will you get the
Yeah,
other
you
dice.
gotta roll to hit,
Like,
and then
what?
there's damage reduction from the armor, but the armor is like inverse, so like a lower is high, and then it's
Yeah, so you want
just-
higher there, below attack, high
yeah,
attack, low
exactly. And bro, don't even get me started on armor piercing rounds, dude.
Dude, don't even, we're not even
No,
gonna
don't
talk
even
about
get me
it.
started.
Don't
But
even-
so like all of that, like I get all of that. That's totally fine. But you put me in a game of werewolf, and I like 2 seconds, I'm lost. I'm just like I don't.
think-
Who
and
did what?
Yeah,
I don't.
I think that
Huh?
just kind of goes to show like I kind of have the same thought process as you, Fuj. It's like I need more structure to the game for me to understand it. Like these social games, they're so open ended and like how you go about like finding the
Deducing
the
people.
mole or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That it's hard for me. But when there's like clear structure, it's like yeah, you can come up with a basic strategy a little easier. I think because the social games though they're a little more open ended, and so there's multiple strategies you can use to succeed, but it's just difficult. You really have to be able to work the other players to make your strategy work, and that's
All-
what I'm really bad at.
Yeah,
All
big
I know
time.
is I've done the same since we've been able to play Among Us so many times. I've done the same play 2 different occasions, one with success, one without. Where basically I don't want to say I made the play, but like a play is made where like I go, someone kills someone in front of me, like night and day. I saw them do it red-handed, and then we're in the thing, and then I go off on them. I'm like, I saw them do this red-handed, like it is 100% them, and then they'll just be like, okay, like
Yeah.
that's a good fantasy story, like, and then they're
Yeah, but
believed.
you're a liar though.
And then I'm writing
Yeah.
down space, and then everyone's like, "Well, Muffin, you weren't very convincing." I'm like, "I literally
Right.
saw him do it with my
Yeah.
eyeballs. Like, what do you want me to say?" And then on top of that, like the same situation will happen again, and then like someone will be like, "Yeah, that's a good fantasy," and then they'll believe the original person, and then it's like there's no like the only reason why you're choosing to believe someone at this point is because you believe in that person outside of this game. And I think once you add that element of like stature to the game, it just totally ruins it, because it's like it doesn't matter how strong your argument is, as long as the other person outside of the game has a history of being generally good, their say is going to outweigh your logic. And
Right.
that's going to tank your ability to play, because then it's like, well, you just spaced the only other town speaking the truth, and now the table gets run by the bad guys. And it's like, well, okay,
And
we
I think
lose.
that seems like a problem that would happen mostly in groups where you're playing where you know all the people in the group though, right?
Yeah.
Like if you go into a
Yeah.
bunch of
Sure.
randoms, you're not going to have that issue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I were to play Among Us with like a group of coworkers, like that's so much fun, because I don't know how people are going to lie, right? To Fuji's
Right.
point of like the thought process, right? What's going on in everyone's mind? Like
Mhm.
some people just think in a way of like, yeah, that's sus. Like Christian, for example, or I don't know if we're supposed to name names, but like last night, for example, well, when we're like, yeah, if you find a body, you have to report it. And he's like, why would I do that? And I'm like, because you're town. And he's like, yeah, but like, then you're just going to think I was the killer because I reported the body. I'm like, no, if I walk in and I see you standing on a body that you didn't report, I'm going to think you killed him.
I'm just
Like,
saying,
that's
if
why-
I'm the only person in the room with the body, that looks bad on me. I don't know. I don't like it.
Like, I'm not here to judge, but you know what, necrophilia, dude, buddy, I like that's not like, look, dude.
That's
I'm just saying, don't
I think
report
they're
that
gonna
body.
save that one for Among Us too.
That's the DLC, Jesus.
That shows
GTA
such a
DLC.
personality type too. Like when someone's like, "Well, I'm not gonna rat because then they're gonna think I did it." Like,
It's just like, what's going on through your
I just
head,
don't want
bro?
that spotlight on me, man. Like I don't know. That shit's really funny.
So funny.
Yeah, so question then, because you mentioned like there's like a through line between games of like certain people being more trustworthy than others or whatever, and like people doing that. I don't remember having that problem, and maybe I'm just misremembering, but I don't remember having that problem with Secret Hitler when we were playing that all the time. Do you think there's a difference in like the structure of the
Yeah.
game that causes that?
No. So I would say it's so much structure. Well, probably to some degree structure, but it's largely volume. Like we'll sit down and play 50 games of Among Us 5 hours, but we'll play 5-6 games of Secret Hitler and call it a night, right? So like I think once
Okay.
you play enough times, you kind of get a better sense of how people lie, because like how many of us have called someone else by after murdering someone in front of them? Like we've all played that play, and now we all kind of know how each other sound like making that play, and so it's like much harder to make that convincingly. And then I think like it's a little bit of the game structure, because I think people like playing Among Us to that repetition more, because it's much more active. Like, if it's not your turn to pick
Oh,
who
that's
votes
true.
or who's president or whatever, like you're running around doing tasks, you got nervous, like, oh, Fuge is going to kill me, he's going to murder me, and like you're both down, and like you just have this paranoia. So I think that makes it a little bit more entertaining, which is why people are able to farm it out more. But I think that farm is what causes that degradation of the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
The
mean,
spoon.
that's not sus at all. Like, I mean, you wouldn't kill somebody with a spoon. Like, come on.
But you could.
Right?
Damn.
Called it.
So shameless plug of the day.
Oh,
just
yeah,
for
who's our
throwing it out
sponsor?
there. Shotgun Shiner. So if you're familiar with Shiner Shotgun, it's a seltzer water, like a White Claw or a thing like that. So it's Shiner's answer to that.
And
All the other
okay.
flavors, right?
except for ranch water is absolute dog shit. But I mean, sponsor us. Ranch water, drink ranch water. Super good.
I guess we just fucking
think-
mark that one off.
Sponsors.
Ranch water definitely does not sound like it would taste
Honestly,
good.
you're 100% right. Because when I was like choosing, right, I was like, okay, I could just grab the ranch water or grab the like this blackberry one, and I'm like, the blackberry one sounds like it'd be really good.
Yeah,
Sure,
Let me play it
blackberry's
safe
good.
and do the
Yeah.
variety pack, so I can just
Mhm.
try them all.
Yeah.
I do that. Got the ranch water. I'm like, oh, this is a good start. If this is what we're in for, great.
Uh-oh.
I open up. They call it like they all have like aggressive names. So this one's ranch water. The other
Gun.
one's like brambleberry or like bramble or like I don't know. It sounds like you're about to get like thorned in
Power
the face or
thirst. Like a country version of
Howitzer.
Power Thirst.
you get the power thirst Panzerfrost. Like, but it tastes like popcorn, and it's not what you want to be drinking out of a seltzer water, thinking it should taste like blackberries. Like it tastes like it tastes like the popcorn jelly beans. That's the flavor.
I was just
Oh,
about to bring that up. I'm
no.
like, that's the worst jelly bean flavor.
Oh, that's
so,
bad.
like,
That, no,
and it
you
tastes
don't want
exactly
that.
what like I think a popcorn flavored jelly bean would taste like, but I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's like that, but mixed in with like a Topo Chico, and it just like it is just not a good experience. But like I said, the ranch waters, it's agave lime flavored, like spiked seltzer. It's actually really good. These
pretty
ones,
good.
I could drink these all night. 7%. They're pretty healthy.
That's how
Pretty healthy. Okay, cool.
so wait, so that one's Shiner and Ozarka teamed up for that, I think.
Did they?
So it's like a Texas flavor, like it's all Texas companies or whatever, right?
Oh.
You got the
That's neat.
Ozarka water and then the Shiner beer, and they're like, let's get into this seltzer alcohol game. Like,
That
I mean,
explains
everyone's,
the gun
like-
flavor. Yeah.
White Claw opened up that door, and everyone's been running in since. Like Shiner has theirs, like Corona, Bud
Mhm.
Light, even
Yeah.
Natty has theirs now. Like it's
yeah.
everyone. They're coming to that market.
They're-
I love it
it's
though.
it's a good market, I gotta say, because I mean, like, there's so many of the things. It was light beer for so long was like the only drink you could get that was like under 100 calories or something for a beer, and now these are like, wow, these are like 25 calories and still has alcohol. Like,
I have a theory on that actually too,
Oh shit.
and I
Do I get my
think
tinfoil hat?
I think there's a shift from beer to these, like, I guess, what are they? Wine cooler spiked seltzers? I don't know what to call them. The White
Seltzers.
Claws. And I think that shift is because I think in the early 70s through even the early 90s, like, beer was the thing because it was the only thing outside of liquor. So unless you wanted to get
Right.
really drunk, you
wine,
drank
yeah.
beer. Or wine. But
Or if you want to be
then this is
sophisticated and, you know.
But this is all pre-internet, though. So we don't have memes. We don't have anything like that. So it was considered very masculine to drink beer and very feminine to drink wine. And that just became kind of the gender roles, and people conformed to them. But with the advent of the internet and people like all this other stuff, people then started to branch out into the different diversity of drinks. And I think a lot of people were drinking beer and were like, this stuff sucks. I want something sweet. Like, I've never had beer in my life. Like, having a Bud Light sucks. I want wine. I want something sweeter.
Enter
And I think
Smirnoff Ice.
Enter Smirnoff
no.
Ice. Absolutely.
Oh,
No, 100%.
God.
Enter Smirnoff Ice. Icing people became a thing. It became central to meme culture. And now in the zeitgeist of it, like all these bros who had to chug like Smirnoff Ice, it's no longer this foreign, hyper masculine thing to have a White Claw. And then memes came out of that. Like when there's claws, there's no laws. So now we've made it more manly to make it marketable to men to drink a White Claw so they don't feel effeminate drinking it. And I think like look the branding at this shotgun, ranch water, Celt Spike. Like I mean, this is about as manly as like a seltzer as you're going. Shotgun water, ranch water. This shit ain't filtered,
Shotgun
bitch.
ranch
Like
water.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is get the E.
Where'd
coli.
you get
That's what
this?
gets the
Hey, what do you mean? I just went over to the bucket the horse was drinking out
Live
of.
from
You think I'm gonna drink some of that Bud Light? Hell no. I need some ranch water. Give it extra dirty. Like
Brought to you by Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
I got my militarized ranch water.
It just
Bullets
reminds
in
me
every
of
bite.
that one Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode with Frank where he's like, you want a squirt gun, but you want it to have the force of a real gun. And he's like making a real shotgun that shoots alcohol at people.
Bam!
Yeah. It's like, but you don't want this flimsy little gun. You want to feel the real weight of a shotgun.
Boom! And that's why Shiner Shotgun Ranch Water sponsor the stream.
Yeah, bring it back. Bring it back.
Bringing it back. Got our sponsors in there.
Fuck.
Yep.
Wow, that was a journey.
That's funny.
Great.
I'm still trying to recover from the reference to the Smirnoff Ice. I flashed back to drinking entirely too many Smirnoff Ice limes when I was much younger, and but right when I turned 21, for kids out there, just waits to legal
absolutely.
drinking age.
We know.
Yep, and
Of course. Yeah.
Yep, and oh god, bad times. Oh man.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
bad times on what?
Smirnoff Ice.
Smirnoff Ice.
Oh, Smirnoff Ice. Smirnoff Ice. Yeah. I thought you were
Yeah.
saying beer. I'm like,
Those things
that's
were a little
just-
too.
beer, bro.
I just don't like beer, honestly. I've just
Like,
never.
I mean, that's
fizzy
fair.
soda.
You're part of that
I
zeitgeist I,
love
was
beer.
talking about earlier, Fuge.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, 100%. You're right. Like,
I love beer.
I've just never liked beer. Like,
I like
don't
certain
know.
types of beer, and I would say, I think beer, like coffee, is an acquired taste. And I only started liking beer after like literally my 106th beer.
Yeah.
And I know
Oh
the
my
number
God,
because
no.
we had a beer wall that in college that we would line up, and it became a timeline of like I came in on like the Blue Moon Ambers, and then like this was like the Rolling Rock was at one party where shit got wild, and then like we go on, and like every beer was like a moment in time, and it was but yeah, 106 beer. At that point, I was like, I've
These are
developed
okay.
a palate for beer. Yeah, like I know I got the flavor profiles. I can
Yeah.
tell like a good beer from a bad beer, and
think-
or at least preference wise.
After playing, I think the reason why I started to like beer was like I really just wanted to play beer pong, but there's a learning curve, right? Like you're gonna lose a few games before you start getting the hang of it, and like you got to drink a lot of beers just to like when you lose, and so. You do enough of that, then you get to a point where you're like, yeah, I can drink these pretty good. Like, we're okay, even though this is terrible beer. Like, you know.
My
like-
first beer pong experience was I was a camp counselor at a summer camp. And it was one of the days where like I think all the counselors had the day off, which was like there's only 2 times throughout the entire summer where that was the case. So we all go to like a nearby town because we're in the boonies of Pennsylvania. So we go to like this nearby town that's like a little mountain town, like population like 3, and we go to the parking lot of like the Holiday Inn there because everyone got a room at that Holiday Inn because we're gonna rage in the parking lot. Like that's just that was the tradition of the camp. So we're doing that. First time playing beer pong. I'm playing with a dude who can only be described as a demi Adonis. Like he is just like jacked. Like he was like the rowing instructor. Like he was like just this god of a man. Like, so
Yeah,
he
Josh
could eat like
Demidonis,
3
I
of me
remember the
and
guy.
still be hungry. Yeah, you get it. You get it.
Yeah, I know the guy.
And so he's my beer pong partner because I'm just like walking to grab another beer, and he's like, "I need another partner." Rose, you in? I'm like, "All right, I guess I'm in." And so I'm playing. First time playing beer pong, I am a golden god. Like I have the beginner's lung. I'm sinking. I'm doing things like the dude next to me is like, "Dude, you're playing me? You play this game?" I'm like, "No, dude, I don't know what I'm doing." He's like,
You just
I'm
throw
like
the
doing
ball
these
and it gets to
bounces
the cup. That's
ones.
fine. That was good.
Ones that are falling just short of the cup, bouncing in for 2. I play 6 games in a row, and I am drunk as a skunk. At this point, I've had too much beer, and like I want to lose, and like at this point, even my partner, I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, you gotta help me. I'm drinking too much. Like I'm at my limit. And he's like, okay, we're going. I will try to lose this game so we can get off the table and like we can go to the fest. We play. It is now double final redemption because I still can't miss a shot. And I just remember like they sink it into our cup, and I'm like, oh, thank God, we're good. We're gonna lose. I just have to whiff this shot, and it'll be fine. And I, without looking, just kind of chuck the ball, hoping he'll miss. Sunk. And then I just remember at that point everyone's going crazy because at this point I've been complaining about how drunk I was, and everyone was like, "Ah, Rose has to drink some more!" Ah! And I just remember like tapping my guy. I'm like, "Dude, you got to lead me to the room that I have because I don't know where it is in that building, and I'm too drunk to get there myself." And he's like, "I got you, buddy. I got you." But first time I played beer pong, among the drunkest I've been in my life, and I was nothing short of a golden god. But
Awesome.
never been that good again. Never been that good.
Never again. That you wasted all of your beer pong skills.
All my talent.
On your first game.
I made a contract. I pulled a gun and just like, oh.
You're like Jordan, just retire after the 6th ring. You know, like it's like, all right, I'm done. Never again. See you guys. And then you come back 2 years later and play for the Wizards, and you know.
Do what you gotta do. That's fine.
Speaking of Wizards of the Coast, there is a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Is that what we're doing?
Coming out tomorrow. Wait, what?
Oh.
Wait, what?
So what are we doing here? Oh my
God. So Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, does it come out? That comes out tomorrow?
It's not early access. Early access.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
That's still coming out tomorrow, though. I don't give a shit about it.
Early access starts tomorrow.
Real?
I'll ditch your asses right now. Go play.
No, it's not available yet.
I'm sad now.
So
I'm hyped. I'm so hyped.
I mean, I want to play that game a lot too. So early access, is it multiplayer and stuff still?
I have no idea, to be honest.
I mean, it's based off Divinity, right? I gotta imagine it's got
the same engine. It's the same engine,
but D&D, which to me is like even better.
I mean, it's going to be D&D, but it's the same Divinity engine, so it's going to be basically Divinity, but D&D skinned. So it's going to be Divinity 2.5 D&D, and I'm all for it since I have like 200 hours played in Divinity.
Yeah, there's a lot more in there. I saw enough to like know that I was in. I watched one of those like, here's a 1-hour deep dive thing, and I was like, okay, I like that. All right, okay, that's good. It looks like the conversation system and stuff is like, I'm trying to think of, it's more akin to like other like
Telltale?
classic CRPG. Yeah, maybe a little bit more Telltale. But yeah, it looks good. It's more like CG, like 3D, like you're having a conversation with the person kind of stuff, rather than just like, here's the person's icon with the text box. You know what I mean? So I like that. I like that they're putting a lot more into it. There's tons of voice acting. I don't know if everything is voice acted. I don't know. And also it's early access, so I don't know if all that's done yet. So
yeah, and that's a fair point. But if it's Larian Studios who's creating it, I'm assuming they'll have voice acting for everything. I mean, they did for Divinity, so like I would assume that they would do it for those. They even did it in Path of Exile, or not Path of Exile.
That's not
Pillars of Eternity. Pillars of Eternity. The other Poe. But cool. Cool. Yeah.
So
is it cool if I run and grab another seltzer really quick, just so I don't have to stop?
Yeah.
I'll still listen and can talk. I can still listen and talk, but
I can't because I have to take my headset off.
Haha, sucks to be you.
Wires.
Wireless
So-
headset for the win. So
So
Logitech,
that'll be
for the
tomorrow. Okay. Oh, you're both leaving. Okay.
I mean, I'm still here.
You're
kind
still
of
kind of
just.
here. Okay. Hello, chat.
And
It's
chat,
just
I'm
me,
here too.
Just me and the ghost of Muffin.
Wait, is chat not even here? What the hell? We're not talking to anyone, Food? What are we doing?
No, chat's here.
Okay, what's up, chat? What's up, chat? What's
Muffin
what's
looks
good?
surprisingly like a chat. Well, no, it's his ghost. Oh wait, look, he's back alive. Nice.
Ah!
Oh, neat.
All right.
So yeah, well, I'm gonna definitely check that out tomorrow. I might be streaming
Popping
that
live.
tomorrow.
Yeah, might as well.
I unexpectedly have the next 2 days off, so I guess work was canceled.
Good thing or bad thing?
Bad mostly. I have bills to pay, and I'm hourly, so
That's a fair point.
yeah,
That is a fair point.
But so I got the next 2 days off, and this happens to be coming out tomorrow. So I'll probably be checking that out tomorrow. Seems good.
Cool.
I don't know if the multiplayer is in. There is multiplayer. It is for sure. There's a multiplayer, online co-op. So we'll probably, I'm sure we'll have the same thing that we had with Divinity, where we have like 6 or 7 different games open. It's like, oh, let's start a run with these guys.
At any one time, just constantly recreating and do the first 6 quests 20,000 times. I'm so down.
Yeah.
Oh, and I know that sounded sarcastic, but like, it really wasn't. Like, I'm totally okay with doing a second like Fort Joy again.
Yeah. I don't know
What's
about going. I'm gonna be real honest. Like, at a certain point, I just want to see Act 2. Like,
I mean, that's when you just have a save file at the beginning, so then you just save it there and you just start from that save file if you want to keep doing the lighter stuff. But
I would
Oh,
say
that's
big brain moves.
as much as I liked Divinity 2, I don't think I ever even got past the first act. Just because every
that's
time
because
I'd
of who you're
start
playing
playing,
with.
every time I'd start playing, and then someone else was like, "Oh, you're playing Divinity? Let's start a game." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then I'd restart one with them, and then we played like that day and maybe one other time, and then it would just end. And then I'd be like, "Oh, well, I don't remember what I was doing in this last one, so I'll just start a new one." And then I'd start a new one, and then the cycle repeats. And then like the furthest I ever got was like, I think to the end of the first island, which is not
So-
very far, I assume.
Yeah.
As a total tangential digression, I just want to call out that this one is called Buck. So
Shotgun.
so ranch
Buck.
water actually sounds a bit more appealing right now. Just for the okay. Anyway, just
You
I
should
wanted to
mix
share
the
that.
ranch
Just
water with
chugging
the
a
buck and
buck.
see what it
I don't-
tastes
the
like.
boys.
The buck water.
Buck
maybe
is
not.
ginger
Maybe don't do that.
strawberry, so I don't know how ginger, strawberry, agave, and lime would all play together. But
How do you get ginger and strawberry and you go, what do we call this one? How about buck?
Buck? This tastes
Buck.
like a dare.
I like ginger.
Tastes like camel.
Ginger's good. Strawberry's good too.
What?
I had this one the other day, but I was kind of a little tipsy when I drank it, so I don't know if I trust my flavor profile. But I liked that one; it was good. Still, ranch water is the best, but
Sure.
okay, cool.
I'm still just like playing the long game with the
Coca-Cola.
giant Coca-Cola company.
Good call. Coca-Cola.
I will say this much:
Eventually.
Coca-Cola's not going anywhere, but their stock prices isn't really increasing or decreasing anytime soon either. So
There's two stocks for Coca-Cola. That's something to keep in mind.
Wait, really?
Yeah, so they actually have two companies. There's Coca-Cola that actually makes the drink that goes in the can, and then they have the bottling company, which is a separate entity entirely.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
but their more lucrative one, I think, is their master brand. I think, despite the distribution. Anyways, that's getting
No
into like
idea. No.
nitty gritty of documentaries I saw once.
That's a
Um,
that is another show that we'll be starting. No.
yes, destroy the bourgeois. That every Tuesday at 3. We'll be
I
taking
mean-
down the establishment from each politician down, and we'll start with the top. Donnie, back to you.
I was gonna go more along the lines of like, here's how these giant companies work. Watch the documentary. Here's how Coca-Cola works. Let's talk about it. but
We should totally stream like our book clubs. I think that's something we should do.
If you want to eat the rich, we could do that too.
I would
It's
do
an
that,
option.
but everyone has to actually read the book. Is the problem?
Yeah, no one reads the book. It's only me and you who read the
Yeah, I
book. And sometimes
know.
I mean, I can't read, so that's my excuse.
I think you can read. You're just like
You know,
trying to let on a
don't
little
know
bit, maybe.
me.
Yeah, I
I
don't
know
know.
my
I think
life.
you can do it. I don't know.
What I've had to do to get to where I am, you don't know
So-
me.
I again tangential, but towards book club. I haven't read this book yet, but it is about how the Greeks used psychedelics to fuel their religion, and there's a lot of like very concrete evidence to suggest that of like the idea of like meeting the gods and seeing and interacting with the gods was largely based on a lot of different hallucinogens
I
that
think we
were
watched the same
introduced.
podcast.
Oh, we did watch the same podcast. We're talking about the rogue. But yes, that shit I bought. I bought the audiobook. I need to start it though,
really?
and I'm ready. I'm ready to learn about the Cabal and learn about how our whole lives have been a sham and a lie. So
Yeah, I'm
On that
good with
note.
that. Send
Follow
me a link to the name of that book because I forgot, and maybe I can use one of my like
Audible
piles of Audible credits.
Yeah, I need to do that too.
Technically, I'm
paying
buying
them?
it tomorrow.
Cancel
I
my
wonder if I'm
membership.
still paying them.
Yeah, that's how
Y'all,
I am.
I hope
give
not.
me
I
your
don't got money
credits,
to pay
dude.
them.
I will take them. I burn through them so
No.
fast.
How do you still burn through them without your commute to work?
Because I listen to audiobooks through non-work hours.
Through non-work hours.
Yes.
Yep.
Non.
He's
Work-
lying.
mhm,
See,
mhm.
see what you're doing
So
there.
it's called The Immortality Key, The Secret History of the Religion with No Name.
I'm not gonna remember that.
Immortality Key, just remember that.
I won't,
The secret
Okay,
history
well,
with no
just
name.
and
ping
I
me if
won't
you need
remember
something.
it because we're about to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Hey!
True. I'm not going to remember half of what happens tonight. That's why I take notes.
Oh, I was like, is that because you're drinking a bunch of bucks or what? Like,
No, I'm drinking vodka.
it's the ranch. Oh, well, okay.
Buck tastes like a lot of strawberries, apparently, so this one's actually a
No.
pretty good buck.
I've
Do
heard
enjoy.
that about deer. Is that what they
You
mean
ever-
by gamey?
You ever lick a deer and
It's
tell
like
me you never
strawberry.
tasted a strawberry? That's all I'm saying.
All right, so where did we leave off? Who
That's
can give a
great,
recap?
Dylan with the notes.
You think they're that detailed? That's
No.
funny. Silly muffin.
All right. Okay. I'll give the recap then. So let me pull up the Roll20 really quick. I have it.
He doesn't have Roll20 open. This is 38 minutes into the show.
I have like 6 desktops on my MacBook here. Okay. Anyways, so Drevin and Ertos met outside of the gates of Saltmarsh. Ertos just came from his kind of like distant village, which was in the wilds. After noticing a lot of lizard people disappearing, searching for them and or more information about them in the nearby town. Drevin was coming back from a fairly moderate fishing adventure where they encountered a pair of guards. Those guards tried to swindle the party. However, the eldest guard stopped the swindler. And got you guys into the city and even a lead on a nice tavern inside, considering Iratos is a non-resident. And then on the way there to the inn, you guys were interrupted by a potential jailbreak, which was snuffed by the pair of you, with very minimal bloodshed. Outside of one dude who is currently in critical condition, a drunk, and 2 others, you guys are pretty clean in that regard. After that, you made it to the tavern where you met. I have her name. Where is her name?
Well,
Miranda.
hardwiring my PC did not work, so there's that.
Well, there is that. How do you DC from that? What was her name? Where is it? Castle Jail. Wicker Goat.
Real quick.
Manistrad. So you found Manistrad,
I could have
who
told you
is.
that.
Oh my god. You met with Manistrad, who put you on the task of solving a bunch of burglaries that were happening in town. Upon being told of where to go, which was Eleander's house, you passed by a alcove filled with potentially stolen treasures. And then you went to Eleander's house, leaving all but the ring in there, and to visit Eleander. You set up a pair of traps in front of Eleander's house, which were unsuccessful to catch any thieves, before you made a quick pit stop at the mining company to once again reconvene with Manistrad to kind of give her an update on happenings in town. To her chagrin, she saw you guys come empty-handed and said, effectively, don't come back until you have their heads. And now you guys are now leaving the mining company with the possibility of going anywhere in town or doing whatever you want. But however, you do have leads of a suspicious mansion to the east of Saltmarsh, and also potential leads at the Empty Net, which is a unscrupulous bar or tavern rather on the docks on the southwestern shore of the town, or I guess like the docks over here, whatever direction that would be.
Wet east. I hate this compass.
It's technically east, but it's also south. What? Yeah, that this building that I'm pinging that you know is there
East.
and marked on your map.
Forgot I muted myself. Oh my gosh. I forget every time with this stupid map. Alright. So, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Did we have a long rest?
No, because you guys stayed up all night to watch the traps, and also from there, basically right after that, you went straight to the mining company. So you would have to actively go somewhere to rest for a while before you could take a long rest.
All right, what do you think? Should we rest before we go in and do stuff? I mean,
have you even used any spell? You used like your thorn one, right?
I believe he used all of his spells.
All of them?
I used both of my because I set 2 snares.
Oh, that's right. That's a spell. That's right.
Yeah, and I only got 2 slots because we little babies.
Yeah, we should probably take a rest first. That seems prudent.
Cool. And then the other thing, I don't think this spell list is. I'll have to pull this up on another page, I think. But druids are prepared casters, right? So I just I can pick anything off the list every morning, right?
Yes. So you would pick your spells for the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can do that after a long rest.
Okay.
And you can...
Okay, so let me open on another tab, list of spells. So, Roll20 has this handy thing, which actually I will show this to chat because this is a wonderful feature. Bloop. Roll20 has this handy thing where everything that you have in the compendium, it has this page for D&D 5th edition compendium, and then this has all the spells. So if you're wondering, hey, I'm a druid, what spell should I take for today? Well, my cantrips are fine, so let me go to druid, and then let me do, I don't know, level 1 spells? And then here's all the level 1 druid spells. Boom, there you go. So this will help me...
Chat, you should pick his spells, because it'd be funny, and you have no idea what I want to throw at them today, so I think that would be fair in a hilarious way. But, do what you want, chat.
Chat? No. So we're gonna... I know who's in chat right now, and I do not trust you to like, make
Paper.
good decisions.
I want the papers, please option. That's what I want.
Yeah. Do you have anything that's relatively papers free, please? Papers
Accept and do
friendly?
country. Stamp.
Yeah. What
You beat the
spell?
bad guy with the rubber stamp.
Cast
Oh,
papers.
Cast papers.
Please
let's just do a
do.
D&D
Yeah.
of Phoenix Wright, attorney at law.
Objection. Sustained.
All right.
Cool, so
I'm
go ahead and-
thinking, like,
Yeah, pick your shit.
I think we grab like entangle, right? That seems like a good one. Snare's out. Snare was fun. It's fine, but snare's gone now. We don't.
Snare didn't do anything.
Hey, it could have,
It could have, but
and
it
it'll
didn't.
be back again.
It looks like chat has a request for Goodberry. If Goodberry is accessible.
No, he definitely said Googleberry.
Googleberry.
Oh,
Um,
Googleberry. Oh, I'm a dingus. My bad.
Good berry.
But honestly, though, okay.
Good berry? Really?
Good. Yeah, Goodberry's not a bad one to take, but
Goodberry's
it's
fine.
not.
I thought each person could only have one of the berries, though, right?
No,
No, I don't
Oh,
think that's true.
no. There's a
At least not
there's a
5e.
Pathfinder Goodberry that works not as well. That is closer to that. All right. So do I lose Ice Knife, which is my only damaging spell, or do I lose Fog Cloud? What do y'all think?
Well, I don't want to say. I don't want to interject. I'm gonna let you choose.
No, Muffin, we want to hear what you feel. Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry what I'm going to throw at you. I'm just gonna
Hey, you get out of
stand
here.
back.
I don't want your input.
How about you don't pick anything? I think that's a good pick. I think
I don't
having
know.
no
I feel like the
spell slot-
fog one could work pretty well with my guy, right? Because I'm a rogue.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Should I just drop
And then-
Cure Wounds instead then?
Ooh, man, that's a oof.
You want healing? I'll shove a Goodberry down your throat.
I think you drop Goodberry for heal.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. The other thing is I can just leave them on the list, and then I can use this little dot button right here to show which ones are prepared.
Mhm.
That's another thing that you can do. Fun fact. Fun tips. Okay, so we're going to go with... I just dropped Snare for Entangle then. That's the only difference.
Ooh,
Okay.
that sounds pretty similar.
Okay, so we'll leave that for the moment. I guess I don't have the spells until we figure out where we're gonna, like, rest, right? We need to figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, I think resting. If we go back to that, where we met Manistrad,
Mhm.
do they have rooms there? Right. I mean,
So
it seems like they have
back at the Wicker Goat, you guys would know that you could find lodging at the Wicker Goat. You knew you could have spent or you really couldn't have spent the night at Eleander's, but he reluctantly allowed you guys. You just kind of chose not to sleep. And you notice he left, so you couldn't sleep at Eleander's. You may be able to like spark a bargain at the Empty Net or one of the other taverns in town. Because they're also like lodging. Like all of these have like rooms and they're upstairs used depending on which bar you go to for either promiscuous activity or for lodging like a hotel. So that's kind of what you know about. But since you only know about the two taverns and you've been to the Wicker Goat, you know that the Wicker Goat seems on the up and up as far as taverns go. And what you would know of the Empty Net is that that's the place where less scrupulous people like to go. So that would be kind of like, I mean, you could spend the night there, but, you know, is sleeping among thieves the best place to sleep? You know, you tell me. If you're a thief, there's honor amongst you. If not, well, it could be shitty.
Well, I don't know. I think we would go to the. I would say the Wicker Goat seems like our best bet at this point because we hadn't been to the Empty Net yet, and we've at least been inside the Wicker Goat. And I think I sold him my fish, so
You did sell me your fish.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Okay. Yeah, let's go
got
do that,
in
and then
there,
let's go.
you know?
Let's do that. Get some sleep, and then let's, I guess, find some trouble.
Yeah.
Right? Go
I
pick
think we
fight.
go there or get some rest and then maybe go to the empty net a little later, right? Check it out.
Sure.
Or the
Well, we need to
mansion.
take care of this thing that Manistrad wanted us to do.
I don't even
Figure out who's
remember.
been stealing from the company.
Yeah.
Right. Right. But I mean, didn't we didn't
I
we
mean,
tried
we
to
we
set up the
tried. We
traps,
didn't.
right?
Yeah, the trap didn't work. But I mean, I get
Do
the
we just
impression
stake this
that
place out for weeks or something?
we tried give us money is not gonna like work.
Hmm. Right, but I mean,
So
like, what's the next option though? Like, we staked out the place. Do we just stake it out again, or
I
um,
do. You know what, Dylan and Fuge, both of you give me intelligence checks, or better yet,
in
wisdom
real
checks.
life
I
or
want
like
I want wisdom checks because I believe your characters are wise enough to put 2 and 2 together on this. Because like,
or
okay,
not.
so in this moment, as you guys are discussing what's going down, who stole what, Dylan, Drevin, you realize that you found an alcove full of stolen supplies.
yeah?
So you know where the inventory is. Like, and I
Mm.
think that's pretty explicit. And actually, this makes sense because Fujira kind of, I believe, blind at that point. So you actually have not seen the stolen goods after licking a
He's still
booby
Why did I
trap.
blind.
do that? Why did I do that?
Why did you do
I
that?
don't know. It's still dumb.
You know what I always say: good things come to those who bait.
Do you?
Is
Do
that what they
you say
say?
that?
That is what they say. So you
I don't
remember
think
that,
that's what they say.
Drevin, that you know that the goods, like the barrels, they were all labeled with the mining companies, like branding, like the testimony you heard from the dwarf you interviewed at the mining company, who was like, yeah, Eleander's always taking stuff. Like, you're starting to see a better picture here.
Cool. So I think we go take a rest, and then I guess I think if we stake anything out or set up a trap, it should be around that area where we found all the stolen goods. Makes a lot of
Well,
sense, right?
so they said like Oleander's always taking stuff. Like, are we getting the impression that maybe Oleander is like responsible for the stuff getting stolen? Is
Was
that
that directed at me or to Drevin?
to Draven? It's a little too direct to ask you.
Yeah,
Um,
that's why I was like, I'm not gonna answer that.
Yeah,
well,
no,
I
no,
would
no, no.
say based off of what we know so far,
Are we thinking like maybe like
like yeah, I think like we know that those barrels of what did we find? Some furs, barrels of gunpowder, and then the ring. And when I showed the ring to Eleander, he was like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" Like, so maybe he's the one stealing stuff, but at the same time, like, we don't really have any evidence.
yeah? I mean, I hate to replay the same gag, but maybe we wait like maybe we take a rest for the day.
Hmm.
Maybe we go like ask around a little bit about him, see what people know about him.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then take the day like do a long rest like during the day and then wait out and like stake out the that little alcove that we found.
I think that's a good idea, and I also think maybe you should get the snare thing again, because that seems like a really good one to do
I'm gonna
on
Scooby
the
Doo trap
alcove
somebody.
thing.
It's gonna
Scooby Doo trap. Always keep it.
it's
We
gonna
need that.
happen. I got the rest of this episode and one more episode to do it, and it's gonna happen.
It wasn't for you meddling kids.
Hmm. I think that's a good call. So, yeah, let's do that.
I'm doing it. It's
So
going
we
back on the sheet.
take
So
a rest first, right? At
So you
the
guys are going towards the Wicker Goat, correct?
yeah.
So, importantly, are you guys taking the north road towards the Wicker Goat or the south road towards Wicker Goat?
Wait, what?
So there's
The-
the north road that's like backtracks back here towards the
Yeah.
wall to the Wicker Goat, or you could take
Oh.
the south road that takes you through town and then to the Wicker Goat. So you have, since you're kind of like equidistant, which way are you guys taking?
Let's go the
I-
long way.
You want to take
You're going the long way?
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, if you're gonna ask, then I gotta assume that there's
But
a
that
reason
was a
to
little
ask. Sure, let's
like
go the long way.
misleading, Muffin. I mean,
No, there's
oh, you're taking the long way.
no,
Okay.
no,
Oh,
absolutely.
no, that's fine. If you think that's a good idea, yeah, sure, no, that's good. Whatever you think is best.
I have a choice there. It's just one of those things where it's like it was the unexpected choice that you guys just made, which is fine, and
Excellent.
I have contingencies for it, and it's good. We're all good. Cool.
Excellent.
So you guys make it along the way with relative ease. As you pass by this building over here, you see a massive tower, and at the top of it, peering down, you see what looks like to be a weird figure at the top of it, kind of like watching you as you pass by. You pass by completely with ease. But you definitely feel an extra pair of eyes on you as you're passing by this tower specifically. Outside of the thing that's very obviously glaring down upon you as you pass, you almost feel like an ominous sensation of a second pair of eyes that's kind of following you.
So something's watching us.
Yeah.
But as you feel that, unless you guys want to act in this moment, in which case please do.
I mean,
Don't.
do we?
Can
Can we do like a perception check or?
Yeah, you can. I go ahead
Yeah, let me
and
stare this thing down. Where is it?
give me perception to see like how well you see the shaded figure, because the shaded figure is not hiding by any means. Like he is very brazenly standing on the edge, looking down. Dylan, you don't see jack shit. You're like gazing up. You see like a cloud, and it looks like a
Did
bunny,
you-
and it looks kind of nice.
There's a fish in the sea over there.
Did you lick the
Oh!
alcove? Did you lick the stolen goods?
You also like the stone.
You blind bro? You can tell me.
So,
Smell
Fooj,
something.
you kind of dismiss the second presence as just the strong, intently view of this first presence that's looking at you. However, when you look at it, you see this weird. You can instantly tell it's smaller than what a typical human or even dwarf would look like. Your mind kind of goes like, oh, this might be like a gnome or something. Like you've seen them around in life before, so you're like, oh, maybe that's a gnome up there. But like, it's still even a little smaller still than that even. So you kind of it's a little perplexing as to the exact thing that's up there, but you know it's definitely smaller than what a average gnome would be. Like maybe it's a gnome child, but it's maybe a little smaller than that even. Like it's still in that kind of realm of like uncertainty.
Tiny gnome. That's pretty damn small. That's like this big. That's like real small. It's like
Like a garden.
it's like that size. You like hold one of those
But
things, just like there you go.
The eyes of the thing on it are piercing. Like you definitely see that it is a like living thing, but it at the distance of the tower and from where you are, it looks almost like a shadow with eyes, a very small shadow with eyes that gazes upon you. But only as you pass by, and then if you guys choose to continue to walk forward, you kind of stop feeling the gaze of it as you kind of round the bend. But just something to note. So you guys go through and take the long way through town. As you get to this section of Saltmarsh, you see two things. On the right, you see a bunch of warehouses, or what you suspect are warehouses. They're big buildings along the docks. Some of them with warehouse branding, with like a tenant warehouse branding on the front of it. In the distance, as you guys are continuing to walk the street here, you see a almost, I don't want to say dilapidated because that would indicate that it's like really degraded, but it's worn. It's not the cleanliest. Like the Wicker Goat would be like the Hilton. This would be more of like a Motel 6, you know. And on top of it, you see like a hanging wooden marquee that says "The Empty Net." Across from it, in a ironic twist of fate, you see a almost chapel like building. It's not exactly like a chapel with kind of like religious indications all over it, but it's clear that the owner of the establishment just across the street seems to have strong religious ties. It's unclear of the religion that it is unless you make a religion check. And if you would like to, you feel please do so now.
Yes. Maybe I kind of feel like you should make
And
that
if you would
for-
like to, you don't have to. If you feel like your character would be unfamiliar with the customs of Saltmarsh. Yeah, you know more about fish than you know
I feel
about
like
the
I
good
would
word.
Boy, those fish have a
so-
religion, though.
But you
Just
see
don't know
what
what it
looks like
is.
to be. I just don't know it. You still see what looks like to be very generic, like religious kind of like images. There's like an infinity symbol that signifies that like all life in the realm returns to mana, and that mana then becomes infused into magic, and that magic becomes animate once more through the power of the blood. So like there's this kind of like old tale of scripture when you see all this stuff that you're like, clearly someone religious manages this establishment. So that's the scene before you, a bunch of warehouses, the empty net, and and we see Zenderos's wares is that religious building you see.
Wait, the religious building is a shop?
It is a shop.
Ah, interesting. Cool. Well, do you want to keep going, Fuge, or ear toast? Or did you want to check out the shop or anything?
Something.
Or the empty net?
Sorry, one moment. I just realized
I mean-
the die rolls are like 4 rolls up for some reason.
Oh, I
Fixing
see.
it
On
live. Fixing it
the
live.
stream, yeah.
Bloop. That should be
There
better.
you go.
I'll have to go back and make sure everything lines up, but whatever.
It lines up.
Okay, looks good now. All
Yeah,
right.
looks fine.
So, sorry. Did we want to what?
Do you want to check out the shop that's in like the religious building or the empty net? Those are pretty much the options laid
I
out
have
right
no
now.
need for their paltry wares.
Yeah, I don't either. At this point, anyway.
Yep.
Maybe later.
No, I'm good. Let's get some sleep and let's get the job done. I want to
Yeah,
solve
I
this
agree.
mystery.
Cool. So we can fast track that. You guys just kind of end up at the Wicker Goat. You at this point it would be about midday, just so you guys are aware. It took you quite some time to kind of round that bend and go through kind of like the western part of the city here. And you make it back to the Wicker Goat. There you see it's largely empty. Midday at a tavern, as you can imagine, in a fishing town is probably not going to be the most rambunctious. In all the different areas, you only see what looks like to be one kind of hooded figure who seems to be shuffling cards in the corner. Outside of that, you see what looks like to be the same drunken dwarf you saw the first time you were there, who seems to be still on his same stupor, hanging by the bar, slamming back a mead. And then you also see the barkeep, Lankus, kind of cleaning a glass at the bar itself. That's like what you see on the entry. To the like from walking in to the left, you see a staircase that goes up to the upper floor, which seems to go into a bunch of different rooms that are available for sale.
Cool. Well, I think we should talk to the barkeep and see if we can get a room for the night, I guess.
Day, night, whatever.
Day, night. Yeah. Like till tomorrow.
I'm sure he won't care.
So as you guys walk in, Lankus, he's cleaning the glass. He sees you guys kind of like walk in, and he glances you over. He's like, "What can I do for you, gentlemen?" As he's like just wiping the glass on the inside.
And then I think right, we just ask him for a room, right?
Yeah, I just let you do the talking.
Yeah, sure. Like, well met, me friend. Can we get a room for the night?
He looks at the pair of you over, and he kind of looks quizzically, and he's just the one room, sir.
Any 2-bedroom?
Of course, my mistake. You know how it is these days. Rent is hard to come by, and a group of travelers, you never know, especially at midday. And so you see him kind of like go under the table, and he breaks out 2 keys. He slides them over, and he says, "That's going to be 5 gold a night, sir."
5 gold.
Aye, sir.
What do you take me for, a rich man?
Nope. I take you as a adventurer, and you see him
just
draw
the
a
other
coy
day.
smile at that.
I put down
What way?
thickest gold on the counter.
He hands you the keys, Fuge, or to Iratos.
Can I try and haggle with him a little bit to get a
Yeah,
lower rate?
absolutely. Yeah.
Can I just do a check, or do I have to keep talking
no,
like this? 'Cause
you
it's
can-
difficult.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So he looks you over, and he just kind of says like, "You see, I see you're a mighty fisherman, and I've given you plenty of money for those fish that you fished the other day. Yeah, I'll cut you a deal. You give me another batch of fish just like those, and I'll give you 3 nights for half the rate. Does that sound like a good deal, sir?"
Aye! And then I'm gonna go out and try and catch some fish to lower my rate while food rests.
So you're not going to rest during this. You're going to go out
Yeah.
and
Well, you don't
fish.
really need one, do you?
I don't really have any spells to
No, that's fair. That's totally fair.
recoup, so I'm gonna use my talent, harvest the sea.
I get all the fish. Okay, cool. So how about this? So
all of the
Fuge,
fish
you
in the
go do
ocean.
your long rest. Was it Drevin, where are you going to do your fishing? Now this is important. You can ping on the map where you want to go during this, because it's going to be 8 hours. Iratos will be sleeping.
Mhm.
We'll say for about 5 of those 8 hours you're out fishing and gathering and doing all that stuff, and then the rest of it's done resting, recuperating, and doing all that.
Okay, so can I use a check to improve my odds of the location I pick? Like a survival check, or like
give me a survival check. And you're not from Saltmarsh, or are you from Saltmarsh? Because I remember you didn't
I'm
have
not
papers in the
from
last episode.
Yeah, I'm not from Saltmarsh. I was a traveler.
Then-
I'm
then-
a roaming fisherman, right? So
Give
I
it
mean,
to me at disadvantage then.
okay.
Because
But,
you don't know the best. You know where a good
Right.
fishing spot would be. Okay, neutralize advantage, because you would know like where fish would like to be, but you
Yes,
don't know
exactly.
the best spots. That's
what
fair.
I'm trying to
Okay,
get at here.
neutralize advantage on that, and
On a survival.
yeah, so just a flat survival roll.
That's pretty
Okay.
flat. That's a 10.
Super flat.
Hold on. There is like literally a table for this. So give me just 1 second.
Of course there is.
Love tables. D&D is my kind of game.
So, and you rolled a
10.
10.
Then we should play Iron
Okay.
Sworn when nothing's gone. That game is all tables.
Right. So you don't find a huge bounty. You have a very average size bounty. It's nothing to write home about. You have like 1 fish that's enough to feed like 1 person, like happily, and then 1 that would be more of like a side fish. And that is your catch of the day. So not quite the haul you brought in last time, but still enough to pay for half rent for the night. You may need to do another fishing adventure to do it for the next couple nights if you continue to do this deal. But you got enough for tonight, at least.
Good. That's all we were looking for.
So then Fuj subtract 5 gold from your purse. Iratos, you're going to do, Drevin, you're going to do 2.5 gold from your purse. And then the 8 hours will have passed, and you guys are now at the base of the tavern, drinking water and a light snack, I guess.
Yeah, I think while he has his little fishing montage,
Yep.
you cut to me like you get a shot of like the inn, right? And like
Yeah.
there's the room, and then it like pans over to the bed, and the bed's empty. And then next to the bed on the floor, like with the window open in the sun, I'm like curled up on the floor, just like sunbathing asleep.
So photosynthesis. Photosynthesis.
Just like a lizard. This is warm. This is real good. I'm about this.
That's exactly the scene that what's it called? Drevin walks in on when he enters. Oh wait, you're in separate rooms, so you're good. Yeah, you're good. So yeah, you do the thing.
Oh, we wouldn't need separate. No, that's fine. We don't need people talking. It's fine. It's easier this way. Though more expensive. Anyway, all right. So, we do the thing. I get up and then sleep, and then don't sleep, and then we were getting food.
Yeah,
Snacking
you
or
guys are
something?
just eating at the end. That's part of your like 5 gold for the night's full on meals for the day as well.
Dope.
So you
Cool.
guys are good there. And it's now looking to be like around 5-ish o'clock. It's definitely later in the afternoon towards twilight time. You see the bar around you starting to get more patrons, a bunch of fishermen and guards off duty. But you guys are just starting your day. So where are you going to go?
So it's night now, right?
Yeah, it'd be like
It's early evening,
twilight.
right?
So it'd be like
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
sun setting kind of deal.
Gotcha. Okay.
Happy hour.
Should we
So
ask
yeah, go ahead.
around about Oleander first, or
Yeah, so I guess from our like trip earlier, do we have time to like go over to like the empty net and maybe ask around about Oleander and then still come back and check or should we trap the area first?
I mean,
And
the trap just holds them up. I mean, they can get out of it, so
yeah, so
it's not like they're
I
stuck there
guess
forever.
do we have time to go over there and come back before like say like 10 or something?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Right?
it's like
I don't
early
know.
evening. We should have like several hours before it's.
Well, it took several hours for us to get around that loop is all I'm wondering, so
Yeah,
I
that
don't
don't make
know.
much sense. I don't know
Travel
why
time.
that. It shouldn't take that long, but that's fine. We're gonna rest all day anyway, so
Okay.
not super relevant.
Then yeah, I
I
would
mean,
say
I
let's
guess that
go.
depends on how much time you want to sit there and ask around about him, right? I mean, we're at this place already. We could just ask the like people who are here. You don't need to go
Oh,
to the other
yeah.
place.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that here.
Okay. Around you, you guys see a lot of dwarves, and kind of like on a different table, you see actually a big grouping of guards. It looks like they're all celebrating something. Outside of that, you see many dwarves kind of just like not partner, but they're in their all little smaller groupings of people. In the corner, you see Manistrad kind of holding court with a bunch of other dwarves about the dealings on of the day. She kind of glances over to you guys, giving you kind of like the fuck are you doing just sitting here kind of look, but then also at the same time she's continuing on with her story. Clearly she has bigger dwarfs to fry today. And she is dealing with that. However, yeah, you guys are in the tavern. Who or how do you want to approach the crowd? Who do you want to talk to? What's your plan here?
Do you want to talk to the guards and I'll go talk to the dwarves?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
Which one do you want to do first?
Yeah, I'll go talk to the guards.
Cool. We'll do that first then.
Walk on over to their table. Oh, can I get around for them? Or
You absolutely can do that before you walk over.
What are you made
Yeah.
of money, bro?
I
Yeah, right.
I didn't have to spend all my money on, on
So you get to the barkeeper to Lankus, I believe, and he looks at you and that's going because there's 4 guards at the table. That's going to be 2 gold, sir.
2 gold.
Aye, sir.
A round of
It is
ales.
for a round of ales,
It's
indeed.
expensive ass beer.
That's ridiculous. Cost 2 gold for a night and a half here. With meals.
I guess that's fair. And you know what? That is fair. You gave him fish for the night because you were fishing all day, so he wouldn't give you
Shouldn't
the
beer be
adventure
like a
rate.
silver or something? Like,
Yeah, that's what
if
I'm
even.
feeling.
Yeah, I probably highballed it, guys. I'll be
I
honest.
think,
just kinda
I
yelled
think
at the
that's a
price.
little much.
Alright.
I think that's
I
maybe
yelled
like
at the
5
price,
times.
guys. Excuse me for not knowing the common folk for a beer. What is it? $500 for a case of beer these days? I don't know. I don't buy my groceries.
How much is an avocado? $37? I don't know.
Fucking.
Oh, I knew you were just joking with me. I'm just kidding.
And he's like, of course. So like that was the finest fish I've had today. And then he like hands you a bunch of beers, and he's like, I made sure to give you the non-watered down brew. And he gives you kind of like a wry smile and like hands the drinks to you, as you go to your way.
That's why it's so expensive. It's actual beer.
It's real beer. You don't get the watered down 1% beer.
Okay, so I make my way over to the table with a round of beers, and so do I recognize any of the guards? Because we've met a few of these guards before, right? Like, because we met Hudner was the lead guard, and then we had the jailer.
You had the jailer. You also had Taft, Cardock, and Taft. They're not there. So they would be. Yeah, they're still
They're
at the jail. They're doing the jail, and then you would assume that the guards at the front gate are at the front gate or at their homes. This group is just a different group of guards. All just kind of, like I said, 4 of them, are circled around a table, cheering and kind of being merry.
Okay, then I'll make my way over to the table, and just kind of sit down and tell him I got him around, and ask him if I can join him.
So as you're approaching the table and like you're coming in with like a round of stuff, you see one of the guards who has a kind of strange red tattoo at the base of his neck. He throws an arm around his compatriot and then another arm around the other, and he says, "And that's when I told him, I'm not guarding this gate. You're guarding that gate." And then the whole table erupts in laughter. Like clearly you came in at the like tail end of a joke or of a story or something, and they're all like in this roarous laugh as you approach the table.
Okay.
So you come in and you're like, "Here's the drinks," right? That's what you're kind of saying.
Right. Yeah. Like, just kind of ask if I can join in their merriment that they've been having, and then
give me a persuasion check on that. Yeah, just flat persuasion. So they eye you over, kind of like as you come to the table, beer's already in hand. They look at you, and all of their laughter goes silent. Like they just stop laughing. And then the one who is telling the story, in kind of a slurred tone, says, "And who the hell do you think you might be?"
Wow.
Okay. It's like, I'm just another bar patron looking for a good time tonight. You guys look like you're having a wonderful time.
You see him like nudge one of the guys next to him. He's like, "You hear that, boys? This guy says he wants to have a fun time with us. Now, the last bloke who had a fun time with us, you tell him, Marin, what we did with him." And then you see Marin kind of like pipe up, and he's like, we threw him in the old alley and we beat him for all he was worth and we jacked his up. And then you see that the original guy's like, no, Marin, not that. You shut your mouth. And then he once again eyes you and says, but it looks like our friend here has brought us a couple of beers. Now, boys, how do we pay back our friend who buys us beers? And you see him have a very toothy smile at that as one of them reaches over for a beer to kind of like try to like tip it over into your face. I will allow you a dex save in reaction.
Okay.
21.
Okay. So you manage to like see the very drunken man telegraph the try to like flip your beer over into your face, and you very easily sidestep. Totally like he whiffs it completely, even stumbling out of his chair a bit. He catches himself. Another one of his buddies kind of like puts his hands on his shoulders and kind of like make sure he reclaims his balance. And they see you, and he's like, "Oh, look at that, chaps! We have a quick one on us." And then he looks at you. He's like, "What can we really do for you, friend?" And you see he has a very stern expression when he says that. Like he's clearly all business right now.
Okay. I think at this point it'd be like, you caught me, boys. I'm just looking for a little bit of information around town. You see, Monastrad over here has me looking up into some information, or looking into some burglaries she's had down at the mines. I was hoping maybe you had any leads.
The guards all kind of eye each other at the mention of Manistrad. It's like, "You working for Manistrad? Oh, that lady's a crazy. Well, all she wants is to have the king's will come through here and destroy our perfectly good jobs in our society. All they coming through, have all these pirates going through our docks. I'll tell you, back in my day, things were simple, clean. You just paid your people what you needed to pay. Us gods made a killing at that. And nowadays, with Manistrad and her like, all they want to do is just siphon away our funds for all the fun we used to have." And you see him like clanking a drink with his buddy at that before taking a deep drink. So he is very clearly not a fan of Manistrad.
Okay. I see. And what have you to say about her cohort, Eleander over here?
Eleander, that fool. Every time I see him down at the empty net, all he does is just break stuff or has caused some dandy excuses of needing to excuse himself to some privy, as if he's too good for the good old hole back at the old empty net. And him and like the group get into like a cankerous laugh of just like grittiness and that. Like it wasn't a funny joke, but the group is clearly laughing at the main guy's joke.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. And what's he do down at the empty net? That's a rough place, I hear.
Oh, well, you see, you're not from around these parts, are you? Down at the empty net, what we find is really anything you're looking for. If we're looking for information, or maybe for employment, there's always a job or a person to be found at the empty net. And he kind of like dismisses that as kind of like so matter of fact. And he says, but of course, you have to have the right coin at the empty net for anything good to happen to ye. And even at that, and you see him grow kind of a wry smile at kind of like his compatriots. And he says, let's just say you're lucky that you brought us all some drinks to be had, instead of flaunting us your gold. And he mouths you a toothy grin with that.
You think these are for you, huh? I got these for myself. Good day, boys. And then I wander over to the dwarf table where you just walk towards.
All of their mouths go agape as you step away from the table, and the one who is kind of like the leader of that crew, he looks like as you turn your back and walk away, he eyes you over like kind of like mean mugging you. You wouldn't see this because like it's the back of your head that you stared at.
Mhm.
But kind of like the third person narration of this would be kind of like, this guy remembers that you did that. So cutting away to you cutting back in time just a bit, you step away from Iratos to go to the guard's table. Iratos, where are you going?
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the dwarves.
Okay.
I don't know how this is gonna go, but we're gonna go for it.
So specifically the independent dwarves and not the ones surrounded by Manistrad, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Okay. So you go to a pair of dwarves. They're both just like charcoal marked. They spend a whole day in the mines. They've been there like all day clearly, and they're just like, this is happy hour for them. They're letting off steam. So the pair of them are talking kind of like in much more respectable hushed tones, and just kind of like they're just chatting. So they're in a little bit of a discussion. And how do you approach? What are you doing?
I have a -1 charisma, so I'm going to just awkwardly walk up to their table and pause for just slightly too long before saying anything.
As you approach their table and pause, they stop talking to look at you as if you have something to say. They don't say anything like, "Hey, what's up?" They just like stop talking and like,
Yeah.
go for it. But what do you say?
Yeah, I think I kind of just like stare at them for a second.
They look at each other.
So how
So
One takes an audible sip.
So I've heard there's a bunch of equipment that's been going missing. Must be hard to do your jobs without your tools.
The one on the left, like your left, would be looking at you and says, "Our tools, our tools are shoddy to begin with. At the very start, all they do is break upon smashing anything beyond charcoal." And then the other one's like, "Don't even get me started on iron." And he's like, "Don't even get him started on iron. And you're
won't.
telling us that our tools are inadequate now? What is it that you bring to us? What are you saying, sir?"
Oh, no, I've just heard that they've been going missing, things from the mine. Do you
All
Have you seen
kinds of
that?
things go missing. Yeah, things go missing. All the kinds of things go missing. Isn't that right? Yeah, things always go missing. Like I said, everything goes missing in those mines. But half of the times it's due to the incompetence of that Eleander. Let me tell you about that Eleander. Yeah, let him tell you about that Eleander.
Please tell me
Eleander
about
is just the
Oleander.
absolute worst. And you hear him just like take a big old drag of his mead and slamming it down on the name Eleander. Like, you dropping the name Eleander has set this guy off. And another thing about
I
Eleander,
didn't say his name.
this guy, all he does is just tell us what to do. And he's like, he does tell us what to do all day, all day, all day.
That must be
And
frustrating.
what was that?
That must be frustrating.
It is entirely frustrating. How much dynamite does a man need? He calls it kaboom sticks, as if this has never been invented. This imbecile, that imbecile, like I've said,
Oh.
this imbecile, that imbecile. Oh my lord. And
didn't
he
invent
continues
that?
to kind of go off.
Huh. Okay. Do you know who's stealing the equipment?
He's like, stealing? Just about anyone. The security over there at the mines is about as liberal. Well, they probably shoot me for telling you this, but it's about as liberal as going to the empty net. And then his buddy kind of laughs at that. He's like, just about anything can happen in those mines. Let me tell you, me and my buddy here have only made it this far because it is a crazy, crazy world we live in. And we have plenty of mead to survive it. And they cheers at that. And they take another sip of their drink. They look at you and he says, but outside of that missing equipment, let me tell you something. I have seen carriages with Eleander's family crest coming into the mines late at night. I don't know if I exactly trust the fella, but Manistrad seems to hold him in high esteem, so we suffer it nonetheless. Outside of him being a total brigand for just about any piece of process that may happen inside the mines, especially as it pertains to safety. I mean, he's as if I need to be 6 feet away from somebody while swinging a pickaxe. I've been swinging this pickaxe since before he was born. Before he was born. Before I was born. He knows. He knows. And he continues to look on, and they continue to gripe about their life. Like, they are clearly bitching at this happy hour about their work life process.
I just stand there blinking and like let them go for a bit, and then
And
like
another thing. They keep going.
yeah, I just let them go for a minute, and then like I think it dawns on me that like okay, they're done talking about useful information, and I just turn and walk away.
You just so
Yeah,
basically
just walk away.
So as the scene is playing out, he's like going on this tirade, and his buddy's just echoing everything, and you kind of get tired of it. You step away, and at that point, you see Drevin with like 4 beers in hand. Say like "what's up" or whatever. Like, you bump into each other as kind of you are reconvening from your respective
I
moments.
just like take 2 of them out of your hands. Like, are these bribes or for us?
Well, they started out that way, but didn't really need them apparently. Anyway, cheers.
Do you guys finish the 4 drinks?
Yeah, 2 each, I guess.
Yeah,
Sure.
between the
2
two of us. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Give me Constitution with advantage.
Saving throw. Yeah.
Saving throw. Yep.
No,
Okay.
I'm good at this. Why?
Dylan, you are still fine. Fuge, in physical combat, you may have some things inebriate you. But so you guys, or rather, Drevin steps out of the tavern while Iratos slightly stumbles, but catches himself out of the tavern. And unless you guys want to stay in there and try to talk to more people,
No,
that's
I think those were the 2 main groups because you said there was the guards, the independent dwarves, and then the people with
Manistrad. Like
Manistrad,
dwarves with
which
Manistrad.
I feel like we didn't want to go over to them again because we'd already talked to them a few times, right?
I mean, if there was
Yeah,
anything
you
for
talked
them
to
to
her
know,
earlier
she
that
would
day.
probably know it already.
Yeah.
Wise. Very astute. Cool. So yeah, where are you guys going now? So you guys step out of the Wicker Goat, or about to step out the Wicker Goat, and you have the world as your oyster.
Yeah, so I assume we have a brief conversation where we share like what we learned from each other's groups.
Yeah, I would say.
So okay, so the guards told you that, or did they tell me? I don't remember. That Oleander hangs out at night at
The empty net.
the empty net.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Um,
did say that.
So okay, so I think we have two potential strategies here. Either we sneak and follow him and see if we can catch him red-handed doing something. Or we could like try to stake out the mine and see if anything, well, I guess 3. Stake out the mine and see if we can catch somebody stealing stuff from the mine and then try to link that back to whoever's in charge, presumably Oleander. Or the alcove where we found the stolen stuff.
Yeah. To me, it seems like best to, because like I guess how big is the mine? Do we know if there's like multiple entrances or is it just like one mine entrance?
It's, as far as you know, it's one mine entrance. And like, how deep is a mine in terms of like depth? Normally,
Pretty
it's
deep.
unknown.
Secret tunnels.
It's yeah, like you
be.
can go down secret tunnels, or it could be super shallow and it's just like a formative cave. But if this is to make Saltmarsh the crown jewel of this area, presumably it's a deep, deep mine with many resources.
Okay. So then to me, it seems like the best option is to either, go to the empty net and maybe put a tail on Eleander, or just set up and stake out the store area the secret storage area that we found.
Yeah. Are we thinking this guy's got the resources to have people steal for him?
I mean, potentially he
I
does
mean,
have a house.
like he's got a pretty like sizable house. He's doing stuff like I feel like he could afford to pay people to take some stuff.
I kind of feel like it's, yeah, maybe he's like taking the gunpowder from the mine and then selling it through the empty net or something. I don't
Maybe.
know. That's kind of like my initial hunch here.
Yeah, maybe we just tail him. Maybe we just go to the
Yeah.
empty net, just see what's going on
Yeah.
over there, tail him, and have Muffin play another tavern worth of NPCs.
Yeah. Yeah. How easy is that, Muffin?
That's easier than you guys
I mean,
think.
yeah, it's not that bad. Especially with published modules. It's like here's the people who are
Okay.
there.
I
it
feel like
gives
I
me
have
an
a hard
idea.
time just doing my own guy, and so like doing multiple people is like difficult.
Very difficult, super difficult. Yes, I think it's very difficult indeed.
Seems pretty difficult. General
I don't know if
consensus.
you guys were watching the camera on that, but like when I
Yes.
was doing it, I would like swivel my head like to be the
Yeah.
different character.
Uh-huh.
It helps. It helps. Anyways,
It
continue.
does help.
You should get multiple cameras and click between them next time. That way, it's like over the shoulder, so you're like talking to yourself. Like,
Cross the axis. I dig it.
Yeah.
Empty net then.
yeah.
Empty net,
So,
comma, super sus tavern. That's the note that I have for this place.
so you guys make it to the or heading towards the empty net. When you guys see as you guys are on your way to the empty net, you see a horse and carriage start to turn right here across the bridge going eastward. You notice the family crest and emblem on the carriage is the same one from Eleander's, as that carriage, I should say, heads north. You guys can choose to pursue it or can continue towards the empty net.
So that crest is Eleander's crest, or it's
You know it
the one
belongs
from
to
the
his
ring?
house.
Oh, okay.
You know it belongs. So you don't know if he's in. You have no visual on him, but you know a servant or someone belonging to his house or his servantry is using his carriage to cross that bridge right now. The bridge of that you're right next to.
Should we pursue the carriage? He might not be at the tavern.
Sure. Let's do that. That
All right.
seems
so
like their best lead so far.
hoof it after him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stealthily
So
hoofing it.
you guys are going to follow him. So let me put a token on this, and we're going to do some rolls here.
Why is our token a dead body?
There's a reason I gave last time. I forgot what it is, so we're just going to go with that last reason. Pull the clip. Elegante chat, pull the clip. Okay, why can't I just give me a random carriage? Assets. Carriage.
Try cart, maybe? I don't know.
Cart. Yeah, let's try a cart.
There should be a million billion carts. You might have to pull one out of the marketplace, though.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. You guys can see that, right? It's kind of small. I'll make it a little bigger.
Yeah, now I can see it.
Just zoom
Okay.
in. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, there's no horse on that cart.
Oh my god.
That's okay.
Come on.
So because you guys are walking, and just as you mentioned, it is a horse-drawn cart, it's going to move a lot faster than you guys. So unless you choose to go into a dead sprint to catch it, like, how are you guys trying to tail this thing? Are you just
I'm
going to try to like
level 1, I
casually stay
can't-
behind it?
I ain't got no wild shapes or nothing.
Let me check my bag. Hang on.
I mean, I could ice knife it. I could hit it. Is it worth hitting it with an entangle and slowing the horse down? Or like, do we want to see where this thing's going? I think we want to see where this thing's going.
Yeah. So, how
I
far
got
away is
nothing.
it from us right now? Like, Is it-
So you guys would be approaching the crossroads. You're maybe about 40 feet away from the exact crossroad, and at that moment you see a carriage starting to turn right, and as it turns right, you see the family crest like and blazoned across the side of the carriage as it's starting
It's
to
like
go
turning
forward.
in front of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, I have, I have like a couple flasks of oil. Could I like, you know,
Are
I
you
don't know.
so hold on? Are you trying to derail the cart with that oil, or like what's
No,
the
no.
purpose of the oil?
I would mean
Wait, you
like
want to light
it
this shit on
almost
fire,
like
bro?
a
What are we doing?
Hansel and Gretel kind of thing. Like, like maybe I pop the cap of it and like leave it on the back of the carriage so it leaves a trail for us to follow.
Damn. Okay. How does that physics? Just give me a second to think through that.
So I'm trying to figure out how the
I mean, I
the
guess you
flask
could.
of oil looks like.
I
Is
guess
there
you
a
could
way
just
I can just
throw
like
the flask
like
of oil against the back of the thing. They would definitely
To-
hear it though, and then like it
Yeah.
would just like drip off the back.
Well, I'm wondering if
But
I
to
like
leave the trail though to follow.
Yeah,
right.
They would
Yeah.
definitely hear it though.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
I
think
don't want
that would be
to.
for that. pit.
That's what the thing is. Like, I don't want to throw it, but
There's,
like,
I mean,
You want to mark the wheels with it at some point still. Though.
yeah,
That's
either
kind of like the objective.
Yeah, exactly. Like
So-
either pour it on there or like leave, like pop
You would
a
have to.
break part of
you
the
would have
cap
to-
so
you'd
it
have to
drips
catch
out.
it first.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'd
you'd have to
get up
wait for the
it.
carriage to stop or throw it at it to make that work. You're still a little too far away for that. But that's a very interesting way to track it. And I think if you can apply the oil to the wheels in a way that's not suspect, I would say that you would be able to follow that trail to the destination. So if the two of you can work that out, that's just me giving you
Okay.
some DM tips. Because I think that's interesting and compelling enough that I would like to make that work. I think that'd be cool.
I have no way to help you with that.
Okay, so here's my.
I'm gonna throw a good berry at him.
I don't
Okay.
even have good berries. Not that would help.
So I have.
I mean, I could put Entangle down and slow the cart down, but that might just make them stop, and then we won't find out where they're going.
Right. So I have. Let me see. What do I got here? I have some string, and I have some rope. Could I tie like a length of the rope or the string to the end of an arrow and put the oil on it, and then shoot the arrow at the back of the cart so it like, the maybe the
drags.
string is dragging and we can follow that trail?
Do you have
That
an
one,
arrow? Do you
That's
have
a
an
that
arrow?
one-
long shot. I don't know.
I
What
would
was that?
say you would be able to potentially follow that trail at disadvantage just because it's not going to be constant as the rope falls. And also on top of that, like, I mean, the rope's going to get more muddy than it will put oil on the ground. So it's not going to be able to absorb everything. So I'd say you'd be able to follow the trail at disadvantage.
I don't know about all this, man.
Um,
I think we just sprint after the damn thing.
Or you can try to sprint after it. Yeah. That's
mean,
totally a board too.
Yeah.
Or you can just go to the empty net too and just let the carriage go.
That's true.
I
You have
mean,
many
maybe
options.
after, but like, we're taking like 15 minutes for a half-second decision.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just gonna sprint after the thing.
Yeah, let's just follow it and try and keep up with it. Like, I mean, it's a horse-drawn carriage. How fast is it going, really? Like,
I mean, if the horse is going full blast, then like,
Yeah.
Go
I mean,
ahead
if
and
it's
give me a
charging,
pair of
right.
athletics checks,
Like-
boys. If you're chasing after it, I want athletics checks. Let's see it. You're sprinting after this fucker. Let's see how
that's
good you
a
guys go.
hard 5.
Woo! Okay. Let's see where Dylan goes before I narrate what happened.
That's a
Great.
7.
I love it.
that's a
so
hard
you,
7.
you guys try to chase after the cart. You make it to the end of the bridge before the horses turn the corner and go into a sprint, and you lose them in town. After that
How are you
point,
gonna have
so you
horses
guys,
sprinting through town? That's how people get like run over.
that is true. But
People die
clearly
from
this
that.
guy has enough money where he doesn't care. So you guys lose the cart after you cross the bridge. But what you do see is to the right a bustling market and dock, where there is all kinds of commerce going down. The weekly market's in full spring. on this southern road, but you saw this guy go towards this northern road before taking a right and disappearing into the streets of the town. But to your right, you see a bunch of fishermen and all kinds of other salesmen just shouting out their wares at their discounted prices. Get your fresh fish of the day. Fish
Still?
catch today.
Wait,
Caught today. We
isn't it-
promise.
Isn't it like nighttime?
It is, and so that's why they are having fire sales of all their fish and everything else, as they are slowly rotting before your eyes. And yeah, so you see kind of that bustling market here directly to your right.
So you said that the cart we saw, did it had the emblem from Eleander?
Yeah, it had Eleander's house crest on it, a massive
Okay.
E with a bunch of kind of like the leaves that a Caesar crown would have, kind of like gilding around it. But yeah,
A laurel.
a laurel. That's what it is. Thank you.
Gotcha. Can we
We could try to track it down.
Yeah, I mean, can we ask some of the people? Because obviously it just went down the street. Can we just ask them where it went?
So it went down
next street.
the upper street up here. So
Right.
you would have to run up there and ask people like, "Hey, did you see a carriage go through there?" But I would temper that thought with the idea that there are several carriages that go up and down these streets all the time, and the fact that you guys identified the one with the emblem was because you guys were in his house the whole night and saw all that stuff around.
Oh, okay. So there's lots of carriages going by.
Yeah, so this is a busy thoroughfare. Like you're seeing all kinds of carriages, like dudes mounted horses, people just walking, people with fish. Like you're seeing the whole gambit of things. There's like a little rowboat under that just crossed the bridge underneath, going northern on this this river, as people row to what may be a good fishing spot. Who knows? It's a bunch of townsfolk doing stuff. So.
Well, I guess in my
Sorry.
opinion,
You wanna
maybe
go
we
back
should
to the
just go.
empty nest?
Yeah, let's just go to the empty net and like go see what we can do.
Empty
And now
net.
we know that
Yeah.
Eleander has like a cart that kind of maybe runs this route, and we can tail it later.
Yeah, so it's going towards the east side of town, and then maybe out of the town, maybe, or towards that side. Duly noted.
Mhm.
To the net.
Mhm.
So you guys pass the river and walk towards the net. Both of you just. So this is going to be a weird ask. Just roll initiative really quick. You don't need to click your token. This is just so I know who identifies this.
Initiative, huh?
But just roll initiative because I think that makes the most sense. I guess like perception will also make sense, but I want to vary it up a bit. Okay, great. So Dylan, or sorry, no, sorry, Iratos. As you're walking over to the empty net, you bump into a person. They kind of put a hand on your shoulder, and they kind of say, "Sorry about that, sir. That was totally my mistake. I will have more perception in the next time. My apologies, my apologies." And he takes a very deep bow, almost too deep, as he continues on his way.
Let me just hit this man with an insight. Oh, that's not good.
And you're yeah.
So you
I checked
take
my
his,
pockets.
You check your pockets.
I got +3 wisdom. I'm gonna check my pockets. I don't
You
like
check your
this.
pockets. You find your coin purse is gone. You don't have gold
Boy,
on your person
let me tell you.
at all. But yeah, so like I mean, he seemed sincere when he said it. Your insight would indicate that he was very apologetic, but your coin purse is gone, and you don't know where it could have been. But 1 and 2 would equal 3, right? So
I'm gonna hit this man with the entangle.
Sure.
I can figure out.
So he's very casually walking away, thinking he's gotten away with it. You whisper some magic words as an entangle. Describe how this grabs him. Go ahead and describe that for us.
Yeah, so it's like I'm trying to think of what type of vegetation is like swampy. But basically so yeah, basically so like
mangrove?
a whisper, yeah, like I say the verbal and somatic. So I do some like weird Naruto hand signs, right? And then yeah, and then I like say some sort of magic something in
Sure.
probably whatever lizard folk language is. And yeah, these vines of like they look like seaweed and vines with like some of them have like thorns and stuff on them. Just like come up and grab the dude's feet and like just anchor him in place.
So okay, so he's anchored in place. He can't move any forward.
Yeah, and then they
So
spread out over like a 20-foot like area around him.
yeah, and you're like, I mean, he literally bumped into you. He's still 5 feet away from you, so like you're totally good on that. And like, so yeah, so the scene would be like he bumps into you, he apologizes, you kind of believe his apology, but at the same time, you look at your wallet, you're missing a wallet, and you knew you had it seconds before, cast the spell, and as he's kind of like giving it like a jaunty kind of like whistle as he walks away, a few coins richer, these roots kind of like tangle around his feet and just like over his shoes and just like anchors him into the spot, and he tries to take a step, and then that's when he realizes, he's like, huh, what's going on here? Guards, I'm being assaulted, and you see him like shouting like, guards, this lizard man has attacked me, he's trying to kill me. And you hear him screaming that
Oh, I might have fucked up.
once. However, you see a Mr. You see. Wait, I have to roll for this actually.
Maybe not.
Okay, great. You actually see nearby, kind of like just kind of making his rounds, going to the shore. You see Taft, the deputy sheriff, at the jail, or the deputy jailer rather, at the jail, the one who was knocked over from the original criminal. He walks over to the scene that's unfolding. He sees you and he remembers you. However, he sees that this screaming man's claims are true. He sees that some sort of druidic magic has befallen him, and has trapped him in place. However, he does remember you and your good deeds. You did help stop that little prison break. So he looks at you a little quizzically, looks at the guy, and let's see how competent Taft is. He then looks back at you and says, now, I know you're a familiar sight, but can you explain what's going on here? You clearly have some magic in locking this innocent man in place. What's going on here? What seems to be the trouble?
Oh, he stole my money. Was attempting to
Now,
make off with it. I stopped
go
him.
ahead and give me a persuasion check. Go ahead and give me a persuasion on that.
Oh no.
Neutral, no disadvantage or advantage on that. Okay. Jeez, y'all are
It's about
rolling
as
so
neutral as
middle
it
of the
goes.
pack today, y'all.
That is
He,
a
he
10.
looks you over and he says, now, I know we gave you 5 gold for your trouble of that last jailbreak, but it's been several days now. You're still in town. Clearly, you've had to have spent that money. You can't have much money on your person now. Being from the wilds, you see him trying to like play detective.
There's 10 gold on a pouch. I believe you'll find that pouch on him. That is the money that
And
I had. Like, I
give
look
me
around, I'm like, a few moments ago.
give me another persuasion check.
I have a -1 on this. That is a 4. That is a 4.
So he looks at you and he calls over to the entrapped person. He's like, "You there, citizen? Now this lizard man says that you stole 10 gold coins off of his person. Is that true? Or has he entrapped you for no other reason?" And you see that the pickpocket looks him dead in the eyes. And
He's gonna nail it. I swear to God.
oh man, I should start doing these in roll 20 so when you say yeah, nat 20.
Yeah.
So he looks at him dead in the eyes and says, "Sir, I've had this gold since the morning. My mother wanted me to go to the fish market and get her some fish. And we know for the steep price that they pay for that that fish market, but they get the best goods in town." And the deputy acknowledges him, nods his head, and says, "Well, they do offer a pretty penny in town." He turns it over to you, Drevin, and he says, "As a witness to this event, what say you happened here?"
Aye, Taft. The lad stole it from us. I got to say, there's a fine line between fishing and just standing on the shore like an idiot. Now, which one of us are you going to believe? We saved your life the other day.
Give me a persuasion with advantage, Dylan. Reminding him that you did save his life. Okay, so a 15. He eyes you over, turns over to Iratos, turns over to the pickpocket, and then back to you. And he says, "Now I know you cut from good stock there, Governor. However, I don't know if I believe this lizard man's testimony. But if you could vouch for him to perhaps," and you see him kind of like stroking his chin, and draw up like a wry smile. And he says, "Perhaps if you could refresh my memory, I could see beyond this and acknowledge the word of a lizard man." And he gives you like a kind of a a glance at that food when he says it. But he's asking you for Dylan. He's asking you, Dylan, for gold to effectively bribe him.
I'm gonna kill this whole town.
He's like, aye, well, that's a far cry from the man I saved the other day. Maybe we should just go to your, the jailer, your boss, if you recall, Cardock Stonehorn. He was pretty fond of us, if I do recall. Why don't we just take the lad over that direction right now?
Give me intimidation with advantage.
Ooh, he threatened to call his manager, dude.
You're Karening right now.
Oh, that's a 21.
You see him at mention of Cardock. You see him like straight into attention, like almost kind of like the mention of it. You said the devil's name himself, and you see him straight. And he's like, "No, you know what, sir? No need for that. You, sir, the one entrapped." And he goes over to the not the cutthroat, the pickpocket.
Yep.
And he like frisks him down. Finds the gold, and he says,
When he walks up, I
"Look
drop
at
the spell.
that!" Say what?
I said when he walks up, like he starts approaching the pickpocket, I drop the spell so we can actually.
Yeah, and he grabs him before he can run off or anything. And he pulls out the coin. He's like, "Look at that! 10 gold pieces, just like the lizard man said. Now, what do you have to say for yourself?" He's like, "Well, I swear my mama gave me that gold." And he's just like, "Well, you can tell your mother what you stole back at the precinct." And then he hands you the gold bag, or the bag, your coin purse, Iratos. And you see him kind of like grab the guy by like the collar, and he says, "You're coming with me." And he's like, "Oh no!" And you see the like pickpockets kind of like fighting it as he gets dragged off towards the prison. But cool. So you guys make it to the empty net after that event. And let's do a quick intermission because I need to pee.
Okay, we can do a short.
That sounds good.
I will mute you guys for a moment.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do a quick 5. Quick 5-10.
Do the same.
Alrighty, folks. Quick 5-minute break here. Where's my Where's this one? There we go. Quick break. We're gonna take just about 5 minutes. Set your timer. Set whatever. Get up and get yourself a drink. Stretch. Crack your knees. Do whatever you gotta do. Go to the bathroom. It's a good one. Just as a reminder here, we will be, assuming everything works out with the launch, we will be doing Baldur's Gate 3 this week. Plan on doing some Friday Fun Day stuff on Friday. Should be a good time. And we'll see what we end up doing with all that. In the meantime, here's what do we have for? Let me find that one. There we go. In the meantime, I'll leave you with some music and enjoy. We'll be back shortly.
Where you can find me. We can change the future, you know. That's what you remind me. Lost my mind. My friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind. I keep talking about you all the time, all the time. I can't help but treat you like you're mine, like you're mine. Yeah, my friends all say I lost my mind, lost my mind. I keep talking about you.
Alrighty. Coming back from that break.
Don't you say I never told ya. Loving you is such a way.
This is the first time I've tried this. Holy
Alrighty.
fucking! It tastes like Skittles, dude. Oh my god.
That sounds terrible to me.
No,
I mean,
dude.
I love Skittles, but like I don't want that in my drink.
I understand that, but it tastes like a Skittles water, and I just have. Hold on, I'm having my mind blown right now. You guys are experiencing like what pure ecstasy looks like when it looks like from a Sunset 77 shotgun shiner seltzer water. So sponsor us, please. Oh my god, that is it. It really, wow, that is
It's better than
Wow.
ranch water, really.
that is
Not that hard
exponentially.
to
That is
believe.
the best seltzer I've
Oh, damn it, I
had
forgot my water.
to date. Go grab your water. Yeah, like it is better than White Claw, Truly,
Truly.
any of the other Drizzy, like you name it. Wow, wow, I'm stunned right now.
Hmm.
That is, and it's only 5.2%, so it's even one of the lighter ones, and it's the best
What?
tasting. I wonder if there's a correlation with that, but
Do you want Rosie in it?
yeah. Oh, Rosie.
Aw, look at
Rosie
her.
being happy puppers.
Aw. There's even an extra hand in here.
All the hands. These are the hands of fate.
It's because Shelly stole Rosie's couch.
Damn.
I know.
Okay. Alright, mini break after the break. Done, and we're back. And
We in it, boys.
going into part 2 here of episode 2 of
Dun, dun, dun.
Fuji Gaming presents Dungeons and Dragons brought to you by Wizards of the Coast, featuring Ghosts of Saltmarsh, or whatever.
There you go. Also sponsored by Seltzer.
We're not. We're not
Shotgun.
sponsored. Don't say that. Don't tell people that.
We're
If you
not
tell
sponsored by
people that,
Wizards of the
then
Coast
they
either.
don't have to give us the money. Well, no, but we're playing their game, so like.
But he's drinking their drink.
Buy their stuff, and then once you're at the counter, tell them that we sent you. Tell them that Fuji
yeah.
Gaming sent you.
That works.
They will laugh at your face because they have no idea what that is. But the day that they don't, that's when you know we made it.
It's true.
I mean,
All
that's
right,
fair.
so
were we
diving
doing?
right back into things, unless you guys need a second to recompose.
No, not at all. I'm good. What were we doing?
Great. So you guys approach a bunch of warehouses. Again, to your right, you see that religious kind of merchant house. I was going to say wares building, but I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But like,
That's
it's a seller of goods. It's unclear what he sells until you get inside. But yeah, it says was it Xanderos's Wares is the name of the shop. However, you are currently in front of the Empty Net. Again, this rickety tavern has been kind of outlooking onto the water. It has a small dock where you see a bunch of not boats. Well, like I guess they're boats in some degree, but like they're more the kind of like dinghies that they would send off of a boat to shore, almost a canoe kind of like thing. You see a bunch of those like parked on these docks and tied to strings, with their bigger ships out here in the main waters and anchored off this bigger island. You see, even in the distance, what looks like to be a bunch of other ships that are about to come to port here, down here as well, or maybe even port off the island, and all this fun stuff. So you get to the door. In front of it, you see there's a tiefling He's male, horns curled back. He's sitting there or he's not sitting there. He's kind of leaned up against the doorway, right next to the doorway. The door is currently closed. He seems to be nonchalantly smoking a cigarette. And as he blows, the smoke rings. They turn into intricate kind of designs. He seems to be almost lackadaisically doing this, some sort of prestidigitation or minor illusion. It's unclear with your efficiencies and for magic or aptitudes for magic. And he seems to be kind of making these cool smoke drawings with every drag of the cigarette. He sees the two of you as you approach the door, and immediately, not like immediately, but like he kind of looks you over, looks away, and takes a big drag of the cigarette. Is there anything you want to say while he's doing that? No? Yes? No? Okay. So he
I'm gonna bug the
exhales.
man.
Sorry, was that yes or no?
No, I say I ain't gonna bug the man.
That's fair. He exhales, glancing the two of you over in your silence. And he kind of looks away, and he takes another drag, very slow, clearly now wasting y'all's time. And he exhales again, and he says, with the exhale, password. And then he like finishes the cigarette on that final drag and kicks the butt out. He still hasn't exhaled. He asked for the password though.
Yeah, I got nothing.
There's zero chance that I could pull this off, but I want to do the end of the evil, like the Evil Dead thing, where he's like says like the first half of the like magic words and then just kind of like mumbles the last part. It's just like, yes, the password. It's, and I just like say it like quiet, like just like mumble something quietly where I know he's not gonna be able to hear it. Just like,
Give me a deception roll.
there's no way. You'd think these would be in alphabetical order. That is an 8.
An 8. So he hears you mumbling and he goes, and what's that? What was that? And that same scene from that movie plays out exactly how it was. Not actually, but he's basically like,
Zombies
what's that? What's that? And zombies happen. Everyone dies. No. So he's like, I didn't quite hear you. What was that? I don't know what you said there, Mr. Lizard Guy thing. And he takes another drag. He's not mad that you like tried to lie to him. He just didn't quite hear you. He guesses, or he'll choose to guess. But he seems to ask you for the password once more.
I kind of like glance over it's over at Dreven, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna try and do is let me see. I was like, forgive me, friend here. He's just joking around with you. We came
He
by
takes a deeper drag on the cigarette on that. But keep going.
And we were sent here by and I pull out someone's name who maybe is just really common in this area. And then can I try like a deception check to get in? Like,
Go ahead and see if you can. You're trying to like name drop. Is that what you're doing?
yeah, I'm trying to be like, oh, this guy sent us, and then maybe I can get more information and then get by with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a deception roll on that.
That is a 21.
Cool. So I'm going to, since you don't have a name in mind, you just kind of YOLO'd into a name. Okay. So that is going to be. Hold on, there was a table. I just know it was a D4.
Guess we could have
I
used
actually knew this
Eleander's
moment would
name or something,
happen.
huh? Like,
You knew
Unless
this
you
would
want
happen.
to choose. Eleander's on this table for sure. I just want to know
Oh,
if you want to go with Eleander, I can default to him. I'm just kind of rolling a D4 to make it
I
random.
think Eleander
What do
is
you-
like.
what do you think? We don't should. What do you think? Food? Should we use Eleander's?
You can say Eleander. We'll go
I
with
think
Eleander.
probably Eleander. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't think
I
anybody
think
else
let's
that
you.
we know.
Yeah, because I don't know any of the other
would.
names that could be. I mean, to me, it would either be Eleander or like maybe what was her name, Magistrate or
Manistrad.
Manistrad or something. But I don't think hers would really work.
Cool. Yeah. So you drop Eleander's name. You're saying basically you're like, excuse him, Eleander sent us, no big deal, right? The guy eyes you over, takes a drag, and says, Eleander's guy was just here. And he exhales kind of like suspiciously now. And he says, did you miss your ride? Or were you just drinking one too many inside? He's kind of like a little confused now as to like he was basically saying Eleander's guy was just here. Like presumably that carriage now
Right.
has left from this
Yes,
place, but yeah.
What do you mean Eleander's guy was just here? We're Eleander's guys.
He looks you over, and he also looks over the lizard man, and he kind of looks back at you and he says, how can you be Eleander's guys if Eleander's guys were in the carriage? And now he's starting to look a little worried. Before he was suspicious, now he's worried, just for the record.
Yeah. It was like, the carriage? What carriage?
The one with the brown horse. Exhales, and he like, as he exhales, it like forms a carriage with a horse. It's photorealistic of the carriage and horse you saw earlier. On the side, you see the emblem with the laurels around it, the E on the sides of the doors, as it kind of carriages outward towards like into nothingness as it like dissipates into the air because it's still ultimately smoke. As he kind of is still here with his cigarette, like,
damn. Seems somebody's taking a shipment. Well, Eleander's.
Give me a deception roll with that, Fuge. With advantage.
That is like 10.
So,
Every
but that's
time
still
on the dot.
barely enough. So with that, you say like you conveyed worry enough to this guy, to the point where he's now thinking he gave the shipment to the wrong guy. So you see his eyes go wide, and he looks at the two of you and he says, oh man, Kubrick is going to have a field day with me. And you see him kind of like lean back against the wall. His half-lit, like now third cigarette within the conversation he was having with you is now dropped to the floor as he's kind of like rubbing his like the base of his horns, as he has his head kind of tilted down. He's like, oh man, I can't afford another fuck up. Kubrick is gonna have my balls for this one. You see him very, very stressed now.
Yeah, I want to double down on this then. If this guy's like panicking,
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
sure. Yeah, surely.
Sorry, I said Kubrick. It's Kreb. 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 Sorry.
Kreb? Okay.
Yeah, Kreb.
Well, clearly Kreb is gonna have your hide, but another thing to consider here is that Eleander's not gonna be particularly happy either. Not sure how much that means to you, but having two people upset with you, probably not ideal.
He looks at you and he's like, "Look, Eleander's not my problem, and honestly, Eleander's a pushover. If we needed to slit his throat, that'd be easy.
I shrug,
Krebs, on the other hand, he's not going to kill me. He's going to wish that I'm going to wish I was dead by the end of him. Oh my God, no!" And you see him, he's like, and you're sure you're with Eleander? He's like trying to like a last ditch effort. Like, are you absolutely sure you guys are with him? I mean, that guy had a really authentic carriage, but he normally doesn't come by on a carriage like that. And I thought that was strange. And you see him starting to like already come up with like excuses, and he's thinking of fantasies of try to save his own ass on this.
Yeah, I like jingle my coin purse. I'm like, I'm as sure as he paid me.
Go ahead and with the jingling of your measly 10 coin purse, give me a deception roll.
Like, he didn't know, right? Like, there's a couple of coins tinking around. I'm not gonna open it.
You can give me advantage on the deception roll, but still a deception roll of like he paid me with the 10 coins.
Another 10. How do I keep sending?
Okay, yeah. So you kind of just flash it and like flash the coins and they jingle and you put them away really quick as you continue to kind of like smooth talk them. He's so worried he doesn't even, he like just registers the jingling of coins and he's like, "Oh man, I'm fucked. I'm so you might as well just cut me up and call me chum." He's like, "Oh God. Well, shoot. Well, how about this? How about this?" And he like looks you two over. He's like, "How about I give you this shiny dagger?" And he hands you a jewel encrusted dagger. And he's like, "I will give you this dagger, and you just let me run away, and you don't tell Crab about me here, about any of the thing. You just go in there acting like you're expecting a payment, and he's gonna be a little confused, I'll tell you. But at that point, I should be gone, and you can go ahead and just tell him some thieves came by, and hopefully he doesn't come looking for me. And at that point, I should be disappeared. So, like I said, here's a nice shiny dagger, and you just look the other way."
Sure. What was your name again?
He looks at you, and he kind of like looks around and he says, I'm nobody. That's all you got. I'm a nobody. I'd never seen you. I don't know who you, Eleander. I don't know anybody." Like he's like intimidated by that question. Like you're asking for his name when you're about to go see like the people. He's evading.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I ask him if he knew where that carriage was going?
He points down the road, and like you kind of turn over to see really quick, and when you turn back, like you hear him scurrying the other way. He's not even like stealthy about it. He's just like he's just sprinting the opposite direction towards the southern road to just like get the hell out of Dodge.
Okay. Well,
cool. So the door is unlocked, and you can step through. But the unknown bouncer at the front, the tiefling, has sprinted away. Fearful for his
do
life.
we keep up the ruse or?
I think we go in and try and find more information. I don't think we keep
we got
up the
particularly lucky there.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. It's a lot of tens.
I mean, there were some opposing rolls he threw that were not great, but yeah, that was a fun interaction. Anyways, so you guys step through the doorway. Inside the tavern, you see a whole bedlam of people. There's people everywhere. There's people playing cards. You see there's some scantily clad women at the top part, just like over the banister, drinks in hand. They're spilling. You hear a rancorous piano being played by some dude with like sunglasses on, and he's just like hammering away at the keys. You see a kind of like stage area where he's on the side of kind of like playing this piano. Across the stage, you see almost like a burlesque of people doing cans of a variety of races, from tiefling, gnome, dwarf, human. You see the whole mess. At the bar, it is a full bar with all kinds of people who you could only assume as like are pirates. They look very piratey. Some have kind of like a eye patch, others with like kind of captain's hats with a feather in it. You see a couple of them, in fact, 3 of them were the ones playing cards. Around the kind of like side area, you see just a bunch of people kind of like in more private booths. They're just like on one-on-ones. In front of that area of people doing one-on-ones, you see 2 orcs kind of like in full armor standing guard on the sides. You see at the bar, there's like 4 bartenders kind of like shaking drinks, pouring rum, sliding beers over to the different patrons of the bar. It is a lively atmosphere at the empty net, especially at this time of day. But yeah. So that's the scene you approach
I
at the
cast
empty net.
fireball in the middle of the room.
Everyone dies. No.
1, I don't have fireball. 2, no.
Yeah, no. That breaks like all the rules. So, yeah.
I cast entangle on the dance floor.
On the dance floor. I feel like there's a rap song that has something to do with that. Anyways.
Casting entangle on the dance floor? I don't think so.
Panic at the Disco? Is that what's happening right now?
Entanglement on the dance floor.
Entanglement at the empty net?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I wish I had fog cloud. We could do some dope laser stuff. No, anyway, so Drevin, you take the lead, my dude. I'm just like gesture to you,
I guess I'm trying to think about right now, like what exactly our goal is from here. We're just trying to figure out.
We're trying to figure out what the deal is with Eleander's shipment that just went past us.
We want to find out about that, and we're not trying to find out who's been stealing stuff from the mine, because we're pretty sure at this point it's Eleander, I would say, right? Like,
I don't feel like we have any actual evidence of that. We have a very suspicious reaction to a, I think it was a signet ring, right?
From Eleander, yes.
And he very weirdly reacted to that, but that might not necessarily be because it was stolen, or because it's, something that he stole. It might be something else. I don't know. But...
Okay.
He's looking kind of sus right now. If we had to call a vote right now, I'd definitely vote him, but I wouldn't feel strongly about it.
I saw him in medbay, I swear.
He's been in medbay, but I didn't see him do the visual task.
Yeah, and I'll say I don't think we really have any hard evidence right now, but what it seems like to me is Eleander is stealing from the mining company and probably supplying pirates that are around this area with gunpowder and stuff, right?
What was the dude's name that he said? It was Crab, right? Cycle?
Crab.
What was it? Kreb.
Yeah.
Kreb, correct.
Crab. Some kind of sus pirate? ?
Yeah. So I guess I kind of want to subtly go around, maybe to the. Okay.
Point of clarity. Pirate ? You would be able to assume with any reasonable judgment that he was the bouncer's employer. So either he owns the inn or he owns something that would employ that bouncer.
Gotcha.
That would be the indication. And that would be like painfully obvious. That's why I just want to clarify.
Well, yeah, bouncers,
Yeah.
boss, right?
In case I described that poorly. But anyways, continue. Sorry, Dylan.
No, that's fine. So I guess like my prerogative right now is to maybe try and gather some information at this bar about, maybe anything around the smuggling that's been going on from this mine, and like maybe some of the girl dancers have heard about it, or I don't know, but like I do, and I guess I just don't really know how to go about it.
Not the dancers, man. They're professionals. They ain't gonna tell you shit. They're just gonna have a nice conversation with you. They know what
Right.
they're doing.
That's
They're
true.
just gonna listen.
I mean,
Yeah.
like but I do, like, I mean, one of my like skills, I guess, as a rogue is I have a thieves cant, so I can, maybe like I can say, like, I don't know,
You do have a
the
thieves'
swallow
cant,
flies
do
in the
you?
night or
That's
something,
that is
and
right. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, I could guess.
Give me a Dylan. Give me a
like trying to
perception
pick up a
check at
job,
that.
right?
I forgot you had thieves' cant. Go ahead and give me perception.
okay.
Double tens.
You're not
Gosh,
that
man,
double 10, are you? You are not that double 10.
He's a double ten.
I'm all about the double.
You thought you heard some sort of kind of like chattering kind of in that secluded section blocked by the two kind of fully armored bouncers, but at the same time it's overridden by a yell from a drunk at the bar, as well as kind of the shattering of a glass from someone who drunkenly dropped it from the top floor. No one bats an eye at the shattering. That seems to be commonplace in the soundtrack at the Empty Net. But yeah. But you do have thieves' cant.
Well, that's unfortunate. So, I mean, I guess we.
Oh, sorry. I do. I want to say, so part of the description, I totally glossed this over. Part of the description of the Empty Net, right behind the bar, you see a massive like chalk, kind of board that says like there are only 3 rules at the Empty Net. Number 1, no fighting. Number 2, no cheaters, and in quote parentheses it says obvious kind of cheat, like to indicate like obvious cheaters.
Mhm.
And the third one is to kill and fight all cheaters, period. Underlined exclamation point, and then that's just sitting behind the bar.
So I got
So
a
it's no
plan.
fighting, no cheating, and kill and fight all cheaters.
So
Sounds
here's
like
my
we should
plan.
start playing some cards, huh?
We're gonna cheat. We're gonna cheat.
Oh dear God.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Is this milestone XP or do I get XP for killing these guys?
Technically, a milestone has been achieved, but I was just going to grant it after the fact.
Oh, okay. So it is milestone XP. Okay. So fuck it. We're not gonna fight this bar because we got no reason to. Because that's not how this game incentivizes things. We're gonna do the task. All right. So I think we go. I think we go. Maybe you can convince someone that you're looking for a job. It's not like the bouncer's gonna
Yeah.
tell anybody what we told him.
That's a good idea. Maybe
Go
well,
be
can
a rogue.
yeah. Can I play a few hands at one of the tables, and maybe if I can pick up on someone who might be able to give me a job?
So you play at the tables. So you see 2 tables specifically being played. One which seems much more like the locals table. You don't see anyone really of esteem, just a bunch of cutthroats and pickpockets who are sitting and gambling at a table. The other, you see all the ones at the table are adorning a captain's hat or some sort of captain-like regalia. It seems to be a game amongst I don't want to say kings, but elites of this area or whatever are playing at this table. So you have the two. You have a commoner table, and then like you got the big boy table.
I think let's go to the big boy table.
All right. Hold on. I gotta take some notes here. Okay.
I don't think we should go to the big boy table. I
So
don't think
you
we got
make
the
it.
coin for it.
I got what?
I don't know if we got the coin for it, man.
What are you talking about? I sold 2 fish today.
You
For
sold
what?
2 whole fish. 2 whole fish. You did
Got me
sell
a-
them. You did
Got me
sell
a
them.
room.
For what, 50 plat each or what?
So, at this
Well,
table.
hold on. Before I go to the big boy table,
Okay.
like,
Okay.
can I recognize if I have enough coin for the big boy table?
Go ahead and give me perception. I'll
Really?
say
I need a
How much
perception
money is
check
on the
to see
table
how
right
much money
now?
they're gambling.
to see how much chips are on the table before you brazenly go up to them. Yes. And we'll see how perceptive you are. If you're too busy thinking about what you're going to say to them, or if you're seeing what's going on. And you notice that the amount of money in the current pot right now is worth more than everything you and Food and Iratos own, even if you were to bet your own lives on the line.
I
There
don't own
is
many
like
things.
rarities on rare stuff on there. Some magic that is just like, even to the mundane person, they would know that is radiating magic. Like, that is stuff that is worth more than anything you've ever seen in your life. And they are gambling it in the center pool of the table.
Andy froze.
Yeah, he did freeze.
And
You have like the more pirate table, and they're definitely betting with normal
Yeah, you froze for a second there.
money.
We got the idea.
Oh,
So
on that whole tirade? On that whole tirade?
No, not the whole
No,
thing.
no,
We
near the
missed
end.
the end of it,
Yeah.
but it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. So I put my hands on Drevin's shoulders and I turn him 90 degrees to the poor people table, and we go.
What?
Over
I was
there.
gonna convince one of them to buy me in.
No, you weren't.
Oh, you're no fun.
You were going to try to do that.
See, this is why you're not a good fisherman.
Okay.
If you never catch the good fish, you ain't never going to get the big bait, or some shit like that. I know you have some fucking pun over your goddamn sleeve that says this. That's fucking hilarious.
That's okay.
You always
bud.
go for
That's
the
okay.
guppies. You'll never get the white whale.
Okay.
Alright, noted. Never get guppies. That's some sound life advice, guys.
I stocked
Chat,
fishing
remember that.
supplies
Clip
this
that.
morning. That's what I did. So good. It was prepping me for this.
All right,
I don't
we'll
know
do
what
it
any
your
of that
way.
shit was, but I put it on the shelf. So anyway, fucking let's just go gamble with the poor people. We don't want money.
Go gamble
So
with
you
poor people.
you come
The
to
deckhands.
the deckhand, literally the deckhand table, where they are playing for pocket change level pots of money, so not much. Like the maximum pot you would see is about like a gold. So like that'd be like that's the higher roller money hand, like other than that it's coppers and silvers, so it's a pretty light table. As they are kind of gambling their hands, they see the pair of you approaching, and among them is a fairly eclectic group of rapscallions. So they don't even bat an eye at the fact that you're a lizard folk and you're a half elf, right? Is that right?
Yeah, half elf.
And in fact,
Oh, I
you
forgot.
even see
Yep.
other lizard folk at the table, who are adornishing like scars and like signs of combat, as well as kind of like a few golden like sharp teeth to indicate a life at sea. So this is clearly some sort of privateer, because clearly piracy is illegal. So clearly a privateer of sorts.
Have I mentioned recently that I don't know if I mentioned this, but like I really like the idea one of y'all tossed out that like as a lizard folk I'm like, because I was thinking like more iguana, but like I've been thinking more about it lately, and one of y'all mentioned like, what about like crocodile person? I'm thinking more crocodile person.
Yeah, I
Croc.
mean that'd be fun. You become more of like a
Gotta put
gator
on that
guy.
Australian accent
Yeah.
though.
No, I'm not gonna do
Crikey!
that. I'm not gonna
Crikey!
do that. See,
Throw
like, what
another
if all
shrimp
of
on
this?
the barbie.
Yeah, what if all of this
We're
was
going to retcon everything.
just like fantasy Florida, just like in the Everglades? That's what this whole place is.
Everglades.
Just be from Tampa. Like, not even from like there. Just be. I'm from the Panhandle. Anyways,
Oh,
no. So
Florida
yeah,
man casts entangle on guy who tries to steal his coin purse.
so you would
Yeah.
be like this gator kind of fellow. This guy would be much more like he's clearly not from around these parts. Like he's some sort of
Mhm.
like lizard man from almost a different continent, but he seems well at home at Saltmarsh. So, uh, like I said, privateer, the seas are his true home. But here he is enjoying a card of hands at the or a hand of
A hand of
cards
cards.
at the bar. Card of
Yeah.
hands, goddamn. Um, but yeah, so he's playing there. They welcome you to the table is where I was going with that. Uh, they welcome you to the table, always eager to take coin from the locals from Saltmarsh.
Okay. Cool. So I think I'll
Let us play
play a few.
cards.
Yeah, I think we play a few hands with them, right, to kind of like mingle, right,
Yep.
before we start trying to inquire more about maybe some work that's been going around this area.
Yeah, I think
So
we just kind of like we do the card thing and yeah.
Hmm.
Is there
go
like a
ahead.
mechanic to the card thing? Sorry.
Go ahead and give me a pair of perception rolls on this.
Ooh,
25.
So Dylan,
That is a
Dylan
crit.
rolled the 19. Okay, no, okay. Well, great. So you both notice it. But specifically, Iratos, you see it clear as day. As they're shuffling the deck, you see the lizard man holding the deck. He clearly slips his pinky with the finger on top to the top, deals it to himself, and then deals out to the rest of the group. Upon seeing your hand, you notice you have like a 3-6 offsuit in this kind of like game of Texas Hold'em, Saltmarsh Hold'em. So you have like literally like the worst hand you could possibly have. And you see that the same lizard man at the start of that bets real like aggressively at his hand that he sees. He sees it, he smiles, and he bets real aggressively. Dylan, you noticed a similar kind of like weirdness to the deck that didn't look like a normal shuffle. You just didn't see it to the same clarity that that Iratos saw it.
I just shrug to Drevin and gesture at the rules behind the bar. Rules are rules, and I want to hit this man with primal savagery.
You're just going to smack this dude?
Oh, I'm gonna fucking murder this man.
All right. Shit. Well, what? Okay.
That's the rules. It says it on the bar right there. Fight
No,
and
you're
kill
not wrong.
cheaters.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Hold on. That's a 13, right?
Yeah, 13 hit.
That does indeed hit. So go ahead and that's
7
acid
damage.
damage.
Oh yeah.
So wait, how does this work? Are you just like spitting acid at this guy? How's this
No, no,
playing
no.
out?
So primal savagery. Can I do that? Yeah, there we go. That works. So you channel primal magic and cause your teeth or fingernails. I think in this case it would be nails.
Yeah.
To sharpen, ready to deliver a corrosive attack. Make a melee spell attack. A creature within 5 feet of you. Hit the target, deals 1d10 acid damage. After you make the attack, your teeth or nails return to normal.
Great.
Like, rules
Yeah.
are rules,
So
and I just like slash him with acid claws.
So as you slash him, you get a clean hit on his face because he doesn't really see this coming at all because the final bets haven't been made. Like no one knows anything, but you saw him rig the deck. So you slash at him. He screams in like just like go as like you like gash his eye. And you see him trying to, like, his hands go to his face. He's like screaming out at the table, and everyone else at the table just kind of looks at you in abject horror of like
Cheater!
like they all like so the table of people look at you as you say cheater, kind of like how preposterous kind of thing. However, the tune of the entire empty net ceases. The pianist stops playing. The like festivities cease where they are. Not a single moment happens. It's just absolute silence at the call of cheater. Upon that, you hear the next sound heard is a series of draws as everyone draws pistols on each other.
Wait,
There's
pistols
not a
exist?
person in, like, I mean, they're flint rock. Some people have daggers.
Oh, wait!
Other people have small, like, throwing, like,
Oh,
axes.
this
You see
campaign
one
is
dude
in
in the corner.
Eberron. I forgot about that. Yeah, this
Like, I
campaign's in
mean,
Eberron, so yeah, they have like flintlock pistols and like warforged and shit in this world.
there's a little bit of that, yeah. And so everyone's drawing on each other. Like it is just like there's weapons to everyone. So there's like a few of the ladies up top have a series of curved daggers to the necks of the people they were just flirting with. You see the bartenders themselves. One has smashed a glass ready to shank the other as they stare at each other dead eye. At the call of cheater. Like no one knows exactly who yelled it or why they yelled it, but their instant response was to kill or protect whoever's right next to them. And at that call, the table of people all stare at you. And I will give you one action before they call out.
Okay, so the scene is everybody doing that. I think at this point I'm like crouched over this dude. You see my eyes have the like little protective membranes over them, and I'm what's with the sleepy Jesus? And like my eyes have the membranes over them, and like I have my mouth open, like I'm getting ready to just like bite this man in half, and like without taking my eyes off of him or like moving away. See, what was it exactly that he did? Like whatever it was, I just call that out to like the crowd.
Face stealing.
Like he lifted a card and then bet big.
Yeah, so yeah, you announce it out like what the cheating was. You see the people at the top of the kind of bar kind of like holster their weapons and try to like smooth over what they were working on. However, at the bottom of the kind of stuff, you see people still a little tense. How the bartenders are lowering their makeshift shivs. You see other people kind of at the bar as kind of the pianist starts to begin playing again as people do the can. And kind of like slowly the different groups knowing that like it ain't their business, like they're the ones getting back to business. However, you see the one guy from the upper floor come down. He comes down in a confident stride at this. The people at your table, they're all holstering weapons, or not holstering, brandishing weapons. Sorry, the direct opposite. At you and also at Drevin, and you see this one guy with a one patch, a very flamboyant hat with multiple feathers coming through it, kind of, and a cane. He's kind of an elder guy. He's stepping down very deliberate and confidently down the steps. Each clanking of the cane as he walks down is almost kind of like audible over the festivities of those who continued patronage within the empty net as he slowly makes way to your table. At this, you don't see any of the other guys react until this guy gets to your table. And he gets there and he eyes the table over and he says, "What seems to be the problem?" In like a like kind of a very grizzled and tired voice.
Assuming this guy to like very clearly be in charge, and he's probably the proprietor.
He's very clearly like some sort of owner of this establishment.
Let's see. I noticed on the way in the rules above the bar. It's above the bar, right? Anyways, I noticed the rules on the way in. I saw him lift a card. I assume you don't take kindly to cheaters, given. And I like gesture.
He looks at the rest of the table and he asks them all, everyone at the table, "Is this true? Did this man cheat?" And he like directs his cane over to the other lizard man at the table who did cheat. And his buddies are they all say he didn't do it. And that's what they kind of like. "No, it wasn't him. He didn't do anything. No, it was a clean hand. We didn't even play it out. The pot's still alive. The pot's still alive." He then points over to Drevin and he says, "And you, did this man cheat, or is this a false claim?" And his eyes go wide at the words "false claim."
So is there only other people of this guy's group at the table?
Of the
The guy who's the
cheating
cheater.
lizard man.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just him.
Presumably,
and
I
us.
should say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'd probably say something like, it's like, he cheated, and I must say, it's hard for us to dispute something like this when there's only his own group at the table.
And even at that, he kind of like laughs a very sinister laugh a bit. When you kind of like call out the people at the table, he like smiles at you and says, "You must clearly not be from around this place." And then he points his cane over to the lizard man. He presses a button on the side as a loud bang goes off, and the cane recoils back, and the lizard man slumps to the floor, lifeless and dead. And he looks over to the lizard man's compatriots, and he smiles and he says, "Now, the next time you have a dishonest game, please feel free to let me know." And he smiles at them as they all kind of like are freaking out a bit. And he then looks at the two of you, and he then hands you, like, he slides over the pot of money that was being like bet on, and he gives it to you. And he says, "For your trouble. And please excuse them. And if you have any other disturbances, please don't yell out 'cheater.' Just call for myself, Kreb." And he takes like a distinguished bow. He like takes off his hat. He kind of like a very gentlemanly bow, as an old guy would, despite the fact that he just like murdered someone right in front of you. And then he just asks you to call out his name if you ever have any more trouble, and he just kind of walks back upstairs. Back upstairs into kind of what you would assume would be like an office or kind of area, something. And then the festivities around you kind of continue, and the group of gamblers let you have the money and disperse into the tavern. Some of them leave, some of them get drinks and just continue playing and do other things. But yeah.
Okay. So we met Crib.
So.
But we didn't get any information.
But you know where he would be in the tavern, should you want to follow up.
Well, I mean, we know how to talk to Kreb, but
So we can follow up with him, but I get the impression that pushing the issue of the stolen product here would not be a wise choice.
right. To me, this seems more like we don't talk like we're investigating the stolen product. We talk like we want to get in on stealing product to find out more about the situation, right? Like we're double agents now if we go this route. But I don't know. What do you want to do?
I am tempted to continue canvassing the bar. I'm hesitant to pursue that route with Kreb.
Yeah, to me with Kreb that seems like a bad route. He doesn't seem necessarily like he's involved in that situation.
Well, it could be. It would actually,
Yeah,
if the bouncer is to be believed, then he is most certainly involved with whatever the shipment was.
that's
Which
true.
I think finding out what that was can lead us to determining whether or not Eleander
Yeah.
is the thief. Which is, as a reminder, our ultimate goal here.
That's true.
But
Yeah, so maybe we canvass the bar for any information about like
potential jobs.
Eleanders. Yeah, potential jobs or yeah, I guess. And if we know it has anything to do with Eleander, right?
So, okay, hold on. You want to survey for potential jobs or only potential jobs as they would relate to Eleander?
I think the idea is just to ask around about jobs and see what people mention. To just
Yeah.
kind of get an idea of like what's
And if we
going
can,
on around town. Like what are people hiring for?
yeah.
If you know what people are hiring for, then you know kind of what people are doing, like where the money's at.
Yeah, and if it's obvious that it's like a job for Eleander, I mean, obviously we're
Or
gonna do
So,
just
that.
even one job
go
that's just like,
ahead,
hey, we're gonna steal
But I
some shit
don't
from
want
a
to.
mine. Be like,
Wait, what?
oh, okay.
give me one disadvantage roll, or sorry, no, with advantage, deception with advantage, and I would count it as you guys are aiding each other in this investigation at this place. But you're lying about how you're trying to go about it,
Oh yeah, we're
right?
definitely
Like, as you're
misrepresenting ourselves. That's an
okay. So with
11.
advantage, so that's 11. Okay, so you managed for the most part not to name drop Eleander. While you're just trying to listen for it. However, through your kind of like inquiries with different patrons and the different people around the tavern, um, one of you lets Eleander slip. Maybe it was just kind of we're checking this one thing out. However, it just kind of slips out. And no, like the guy you slipped it to, he had no idea what you're talking about anyway, so he just kind of dismissed it. However, someone else at the kind of like corner of the bar overheard you name drop the name Eleander. And he looks the two of you over and he approaches you. And he kind of does like a double take, shady look around both sides. And he says, what do the pair of you know about Eleander? And he says it kind of in like a very shaded tone.
I mean, not too much. We hear he's a bit of an eccentric around here, and he's working with the mine.
At dropping eccentric, he laughs at that and he's like, that's an understatement. And he kind of looks at you. He says, I think I have some information you guys would like to know about that guy. And he kind of like writes down quickly on a piece of like parchment like a time and address within the kind of like main part of the city that you guys would identify as around like this area or so. And he slides it over to you and he says like, meet me here at midnight. And at that you kind of like look back up and he's already gone, disappeared within the crowd of the tavern. And at that, the curtains close, and to be continued scrolls onto the screen.
To be
Dun,
continued.
dun.
Wow, 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 wow.
So I have a question just before we go. Like, we had to have a password to get into this bar the first time, but we never
Yes.
really got it.
Yep.
Do we now know it now that we've been in the bar?
I don't think we
Nope.
do, right?
Not at all. You
No?
guys
Okay.
have gotten the dude who was the bouncer to run away for his life because he thought he messed with Kreb.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
We'll just say we're friends of Kreb next time. It'll be fine.
I mean, maybe that's the password. We sure don't know. Probably not. But yeah, okay. So interesting. Almost started a giant bar brawl, which was kind of what I was going for. But I got to be a little bit more mean crocodile man. So that was good. Yeah, what so let's take a minute and talk about this then. So we have one more episode until Muffin's out for 5 weeks. So
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know how long this section is supposed to be, like hours wise, how it's supposed to take, but yeah, we're just gonna have to be aware of that and try to leave off at like a decent point. Yeah, so we're gonna have to figure that out. That being said, Dylan, you and I should talk after the stream about what we want to do on Monday nights for like the next 5 weeks in this time slot. Like I said, I got some ideas. But yes, we should play Ironsworn one of these nights at least. I think that'd be good. But yeah, so we got one more episode next week. And then we're gonna have a bit of a break for a hot minute. After that, we'll probably come back to the show. I imagine we'll probably pick up where we left off. It'll be a pretty big break, but I mean, the nice thing about this is that if we forget where we left off, we can actually just go back and watch the VOD. Just be like, oh yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, trust me, I won't forget where you guys left off.
Oh, I'm sure you won't, but still, I mean, I might. If I
Things
lose
are
where
about to
these
get
text
interesting,
files are
y'all.
with my notes, so
This was the lore and setup.
Okay.
well, hopefully episode 3 is going to be the big payoff. So we'll see.
It's the cliffhanger at the end of season 1 is what it is.
Yeah, right. And we'll have our mid-season break for like a month and a half. Just
yeah.
But yeah, I really wanted to. There's some question on whether or not we should actually like start doing this, considering we knew that there was going to be a big break. But I felt like just starting the show and getting some episodes out there and getting into the game would be like the easiest way to just start it and get it going. Like I said, we got VODs and stuff, so we can come back. This also gives other people a chance to like watch a couple episodes if they want, and see if they want to like continue watching the show after we come back from the break. So there's that. So yeah, plan is we'll be cycling through probably a couple different kinds of games in the next few weeks, except for next week, which will be the last episode for this part of this campaign. And then yeah, so doing that, we got assuming everything comes up and everything, it looks like early access starts tomorrow for Baldur's Gate 3. So we'll have a little bit of that if you want some more D&D on the channel. A little bit different in that it's a game and not an actual like D&D like session, but more Dungeons and Dragons content on the channel, and yeah, cool. Anybody else got anything?
No,
I
not
think
really.
we should table read Baldur's Gate as like a crew of people, and I think that would be fun content.
I
Anyways,
think we
that's
just
all I
do
had to say.
Monster
Intrigued.
Prom, right? Table read the whole thing again.
I mean, we could do that. That would be like the smart option. Like that would be like actual like, oh my god, high school drama fun stuff. But like Baldur's Gate would be like, I killed your father. You killed nothing. And then it would just be like then we would have to RP combat. Fireball. I don't know. We'd figure it out.
Fireball, fireball, fireball.
Everyone's on fire.
I only
We're
have
dead.
3 tennis
Yeah.
balls though, so I mean, I don't know how that's gonna work.
I mean, you only have 3
Try
spell
harder,
slots.
dude.
There you go. All right, everybody. That's going to be it for the show. Everybody have a wonderful evening. See you tomorrow. Bye.